Oh my God, what the hell is this? He's gonna try it!
And will this be enough? Heyman takes him down. 1.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Ruckus Wrastlin. I am Josh Maybe, alongside my tag team partner in this journey, Justin Toner. How we doing today, sir?
Doing good, man. Quite the week of wrestling. Lots
Great
of
week of wrestling, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, like hell of a pay-per-view by AEW on Sunday, and more WrestleMania build drama. Big debuts, big returns, lots to talk about.
Lots to talk about. That's why we love wrestling, because it never stops. But we'll start off with the news. A guy who just can't get out of his own way. Throughout his time, Sammy Guevara is suspended. We don't know the exact time frame of suspension, but basically following the match with Jeff Hardy, where he was clearly concussed. Matt Hardy, they showed some, sideline things of Matt Hardy flicking Guevara off. Guevara was like, "What? What did I do wrong?" Like it was, and it's just a whole bunch of like who was in the wrong, who wasn't. Obviously, whatever happened, they decided that Sammy Guevara was somewhat in the wrong. But Justin, kind of give us a little bit more detail on why, because it wasn't like it was anything backstage. It was literally an in-ring situation.
Yeah, so what happened is that Sammy Guevara and Jeff Hardy had a match on Rampage, I believe it was. And when he did a spot where he, I think it was a shooting star press he hit him with, and that broke Jeff Hardy's nose. Now, in that kind of situation, whether he's concussed or not, they need to follow concussion protocol, which means AKA, we need to go home now.
Yeah.
Well, apparently that didn't happen because Sammy then hit him with his finisher, which is a version of go to sleep.
Right.
To win a match, and video behind the scenes video, people were there watching the show as it was being taped before it aired on Friday. Were like showing that the Hardys were not happy with Sammy after the match because of what happened. So either he didn't listen to the ref or didn't hear the ref about we need to end the match now. He went and did his finisher when he shouldn't have. They should have ended the match. He quickly pin Jeff, get the match over with, and let Jeff get medical attention. Now Jeff just had a broken nose. He did not get concussed, from what I've heard. But still, it was just like, well, it's definitely sounds like he fucked up. From what all the reports are saying. So, it's challenging because Sammy Guevara is a very talented guy and he loves the business, but this is the first time that he's gotten pissed off people on the roster, and he's gotten suspended for. I mean, him and Andrade famously got into some physical altercation in the back, which led to both of them getting suspended. It wasn't on the level of what happened between CM Punk, Jack Perry at All In last year, but it wasn't good. This is definitely going to hurt him in AEW going forward, because this is not the first time something like this has happened where, it's like, so you got to wonder, he may never get that top level push at this point. I'm like, he may still be with AEW, but he never may be the top guy with all the stuff that's happened.
So with that, he's every time they even gave him the TNT title, and it was great. He had a great push to get the TNT title, but then once he got it, they didn't. Again, it might be a Sammy Guevara thing, and also might be a Tony Khan booking thing, because we know how up and down the booking has been. But as soon as he got the title, no one cared, which is a big thing to do. Is that's how you're a really good wrestler, is because once they give you the title, because everyone always loves the race to the mountaintop. They love that part.
And I was there because when Sammy won the TNT title for the first time, it was in Rochester. I was in the audience when he won that title.
That was a pop.
That place, the Rochester crowd here, we went nuts when he won the TNT title for the first time over Miro. It's like that was a huge moment for.
Yeah, his TNT title run was meh. His TNT title run was meh.
Yeah,
but we can say that about a lot of people that had about a lot of title runs, and other wrestling companies, much less AEW. So it's always like everyone loves the climb to the mountaintop, but then once you get to the mountain, people don't care that you made that feat anymore, as long as you stand on top of it. On that, but it's not the first, isn't it? This is the first time he's been suspended either, right?
No. Like I said, he got suspended for the him and Andrade get into it backstage. It's like he's ruffled the feathers of other wrestlers on the roster. So it's less like this hurts him. It's like I don't know the exact circumstances. I don't know if the ref didn't step in immediately and told him, to go home, or he ignored it. And it's like, because apparently the ref was talking to the doctor real quick when Sammy just went and hit his finisher on Jeff. So it's like, it's hard to say. Either way, it was, he was ignoring the ref or he didn't hear the ref. Either way, he shouldn't have done that. It's like, if you see that a guy nose is busted open, it's like you need to let the ref properly check on him, make sure he's okay. Because if he's not okay, it's go home time. It's like it's like you never want to see the ref do this. Which is someone is legit injured and the match needs to end like right now, and like we need medical attention now. It's like but stuff happens in wrestling. It's like it's like there's been a lot of unfortunate injuries there, lately, especially ACLs tears. It's like so. So I don't. Yeah, it's unfortunate, and it's definitely going to hurt Sammy's AEW career going forward because it's not the first time that he's gotten in trouble.
I just if it's not. Yes, AEW has a bad rap of not being able to, keep the people all figuring out type of thing, but I don't see his mic work or anything going to WWE. But we always going to throw that out there. But if he keeps going the way he is, I mean, it's just they've tried everything they can with Sammy, and Sammy gets in Sammy's way.
Yeah,
on that, which stinks because I do like his YouTube series and stuff like that. So it's not like his YouTube series never comes off as him being.
No, it's like his YouTube videos with his wife, about their life and stuff are quite nice. It's like I've watched several of them, but it's like the fans were behind him. But then when he got into his relationship with his now wife and how that was portrayed on screen, it really turned the fans off to him. It's like he was getting like legit like X-Pac kind of. X-Pac heat is the term was called, where it's like no, we don't want to see you guys on TV. We really don't like you. It took a while for him to get over that, but then other stuff happened. It's like and now this happened. It's like seems like things are getting back on track for him. And also he recently had a concussion that he just recovered from, ironically, just a few months ago. So it's like he's had to run back. So it's like. I don't see Tony like cutting him loose. I mean, it's like it's not like on the level of like what happened with Punk, but it's not good. So it's weird to see how he's going to be treated once his suspension over and for how long the suspension is. It's like we don't know.
Yeah, it's just going to be very interesting to see. But I mean, there's 2 suspensions, man. Like, Jesus. I mean, like this one was kind of weird just because it's like he got suspended. So either this has been like the straw that broke the camel's back or something.
Yeah, it's not like he intentionally injured him. Accidents happen. It's like he just happened to land wrong on top of Jeff and broke his nose. It's like that stuff like that can happen.
Typically in the wrestling business, you don't get suspended. There's going to be receipt eventually later.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if he got suspended, either it's just a different time in wrestling, or I think there's more to it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it sucks because I've always
he's very talented. It's like he's got the potential. He just it's like just bad circumstances. Also, some of his own actions have just completely derailed his opportunity to be a top guy. It's like,
well, speaking about top guys, the Rock posted a 21-minute promo. I did watch it. Justin read it. But long story short, this thing could have been 6 minutes, but he just kept going on about the whole journey of, everyone wants me and Roman Reigns is the biggest match, which he has a point. But then I told Cody, and then I'm like, and then Cody came out after we already talked about it, and it showed like him behind the scenes talking to Cody at the press conference when Cody came out and said this is bullshit, and they even showed that part. And then he spent like way more time than he needed to talking about Seth Rollins, and talking about
because obviously. Yeah, this is obviously setting up, the tag, the challenge to the tag match, because it's like, because Seth has interjected himself, because he's been very vocal about, that he feels that both Roman and Rock are full of bullshit, and doesn't like what they're doing. So it's like, it's like he injected himself into it, and so like he's being dragged further into it, because it's like with this challenge to a tag match with implications on what stipulations will happen to Cody and Roman on night 2, as we'll get into the Smackdown recap. But yeah, this was there was a lot of good stuff in there, but yeah, it was definitely went a little longer than it should have.
No, like the first 6 minutes, I was like,
the ending was great, where it's like, well, all due respect, Cody, fuck your story.
Right.
It's like that was a great ending line. It's like,
but you don't talk crap about his dog, man. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
But the thing is that he cut this 21-minute promo, and Cody Rhodes responded perfectly with 3 lines that he didn't even say out loud. He just typed it out, basically like, too long, didn't read, cool. That's good for you. On that. So that was but I mean, anytime The Rock says something, all pun intended, you're gonna listen. And if you get like just how spoiled are we nowadays that The Rock is still gonna come back and still put this much effort into a thing that we have to pivot, and The Rock is gonna make it work as best as he possibly can. Obviously, some people would say putting him in the spotlight as much as possible, which maybe, but I'm sorry, he's The Rock. Like, Cody's never gonna be The Rock. John Cena's not as big as The Rock. The only people that I can think of that are bigger than The Rock in wrestling world is Undertaker and Stone Cold.
And Hogan.
True. But in my world, it's those other two. It's
like growing up in my generation.
No, you're in your generation. Yes.
Above them as far as historical star power WWE would be Hogan and Stone Cold.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. The first Hogan that I knew was NWO Hogan, so I didn't get to know him like his whole career.
Yeah, no, you didn't grow up like me with Hulkamania.
No, but I was I grew up in like, when there was a prime of Stone Cold, The Rock, and Undertaker, and then the Undertaker kind of outlasted The Rock and Stone Cold, and just being that, guy. But yeah, I didn't get to see. Unfortunately, I wasn't around for the height of the Macho Man, Hulk Hogan, Mega Powers. Jake the Snake. I wasn't around for the prime of Jake the Snake, and they say he's still one of the best promo cutters of all time. So it sucks, because I go back and watch it. I'm like, great promos, but I would have loved to experience it as it was happening, because it's just different when it does on there. But yeah, it's good there. Anything to say about that before we move on to the next news?
No, it was what was just interesting is that it's like none of the stuff that he talked about in the Instagram video he used on SmackDown. So it's like they're two completely separate things, which kind of made people go, "What was the point?"
And he spent a lot of time on SmackDown saying a bunch of stuff and then doing something. We'll get into it. So yeah, and next news thing that I've got here. So, spoiler alert for the AEW, but Okada we already knew Okada signed. Okada signed with AEW.
Got out that besides Mercedes, the other big signing was that Okada was signed, sealed, and was going to debut soon.
And Justin and I were very surprised because we thought WWE might get him.
Yep,
but we had a shot, and we thought that and then he ends up signing with AEW. We were like, because they already had the relationship with the Young Bucks, and just you had the relationship there, right? Yep. Kind of the Ospreay situation. Well, then the details come out about his contract, and you're like, yeah, WWE's not going to pay that, which is 4.3 or 4.5.
4.3. It's a 3-year contract worth about 13, 14 million. So he's getting paid like about 3.4 million a year, which is an insane amount for a pro wrestler.
Yes,
that's like there's guys that have made like over $1 million, but like over 3 million, almost 3.5. It's like, damn, Tony wanted him really bad. He was willing to shell out the money.
Yeah, and to me, as a person who loves and researches and lives and loves to get on the internet and see what's going on with and see what videos are posted by like that ingrained in the wrestling business, yeah, could he be worth the money? Sure, but as just a casual fan, Kazuchika Okada is not worth that money to me.
Yeah, it's like unless you're like you're into Japanese wrestling and you're hardcore, your Perso and all that kind of stuff. You know about New Japan, you know about Okada. Casual wrestling fans in America, most of them are not going to be very familiar with him. Outside of AEW, because he showed up at AEW before, so that it's like at least it's like he's known to the AEW fan base. It's like WWE fan base. That's hard to say. It's like it depends on it's like the more casual WWE fan might not have any clue who Okada is, most likely.
Yeah. But it makes sense because with Will Ospreay, like someone even made a comment that I saw on the internets about Okada and Will Ospreay. We're like, can you imagine like if they decide to go to WWE, they'd be stuck in Florida for 3 years? And I'm like, maybe. We don't know, but I would think so. Based on where they would go to AEW. But when you put that much money in front of Okada, WWE ain't gonna pay that much money because they don't need to, honestly. They have enough other talent and they can go to where they don't have to pay a wrestler that much money. But we don't know. This is the first public of a contract that I can think of for this much money, at least. Because a lot of times it'd be like, multi-million deal or stuff like that. But I don't remember a new signing that actually released that was publicly released of what they're getting per year. Maybe like 1.2 or something, but recent memory, I don't remember. Do you?
No, not really.
They have the same, but he does have the same agent as the Young Bucks.
Yeah, there's a funny video they posted to social showing him doing taking promo photos in the back after the debut, and they're talking about like, we got the same agent, he got him a great deal, and he's worth it. It's like, saying all the BS lines that you would expect them to say. It's like it's good stuff. Talking about like he's gonna make our locker room better and safer. He's such a nice guy. Right. He's like, and thanks to us, he was a millionaire. Now he's going to be a multi-millionaire. He's like, so they were already implying that they were paying him big bucks. And it's like they even spoofed their point. They're doing like the Triple H point at him. It's like obviously spoofing that. They're doing a lot of spoofing with this stuff, which I like. So
yeah. I, as much as some people that we know don't like the Young Bucks, they're on a really good run right now. I like
I
what
like
they're
this.
doing.
I like the EVP heel persona that they're doing right now.
They're doing everything great. A couple of things to end on. I do want to play this video. Someone asked John Cena about star ratings, and it's a really awesome response that I want to play. That hopefully will not get us, because there's no music involved. So we shall see. But I don't know if you saw this or not, but this is a really good question and response from John Cena about star ratings. Once I hit play.
So, how do I put this? I am much more concerned when I perform for WWE and how the audience as a whole feels about my performance, rather than one individual trying to grade me in the level of stars. Not that doesn't matter, because that is a great way for those to try to get equity and try to get noticed. It's a great ranking system, and I really do appreciate it. I'm not knocking critics. I'm just saying my process is to make sure that everybody who paid a ticket had a good night. And if that gets me a 0-star match, I still know in my heart of hearts that I am.
No, I love what Cena said here. It's like he gets it. He's not knocking star rankings and ranking matches, but he understands what the main job. It's like a wrestler should not be worried about like I'm gonna go out there and have a 5-star match. What matters is what he said. It's going out there and making sure that the people who paid to come see him and the other wrestlers wrestle, that they leave the arena at the end of the night satisfied that they watched an entertaining show. Yeah. That's what matters.
Mm-hmm. No, what he said. A lot of times the way he answered that question, you would take to a lot of politicians and people and just be like, here's how to answer the best way without pissing off anyone at the same time. But also you can kind of read between the lines being like, I don't give a shit what Dave Meltzer ranks my matches at the same time. Because he said, he goes, not that they don't matter, but because I'm at this level, I don't care about star ratings, because the star ratings actually help the way he said it to me, this is the way I interpret it. He was like, we need star ratings because it helps the up and coming guys know that they're doing a good job. Right. That's the way I took the whole thing. Like, that doesn't matter because it helps reassure the people that are doing the indies and stuff like that they're doing a good job. Whereas the WWE, you've kind of already made it. Like, who cares about star ratings? The WWE's not paying you for star ratings. They're paying you about merch sales. Right. So the star ratings is good for the people that need to be noticed. Oh, they're putting on 5-star matches. Okay, I want to look at them of the WWE world. So what he said is perfectly why star ratings need to exist, but also
they're not the end all be all.
But it's not the end all be all, because it's just a different business when you get to WWE, and even AEW in a sense. But Okada wouldn't be getting paid $4.3 million if it wasn't for him and Kenny Omega putting on 700,000 star matches.
Right.
At the end of the day. So I did want to bring that up. And the last thing I want to end with is we have 2 so far inductees into the WWE Hall of Fame in Philadelphia, which is Bull Nakano, and his name is Paul Heyman.
Oh, Heyman.
Right. Let's start off with Bull. I am the only match that gets brought up when Bull was said that she's going to be inducted was the Medusa match. That's the only one. Obviously, it was before my time. Can you tell us a little bit about Bull and why this is well deserved? Because we've seen a lot of tributes from other female wrestlers throughout the years of them putting on the Bull face paint and stuff like that for some of their matches. So just give us a little history of Bull and why it's a well-deserved honor.
Well, because Bull Nakano was a trailblazing women's wrestler in Japan who eventually became known to American audiences over here due to working for both WWF and WCW. Most of that with Medusa. When Medusa was at WWE as Alundra Blaze and was the WWE Women's Champion, they had a big time feud over the WWE Women's Championship in the mid '90s. During a not the greatest time period in WWE history, but it's like they put in the work, and stuff like that. And they had a match at WrestleMania 11. And stuff like that. So it's like she got to be on the WrestleMania card. It's like she was a very influential wrestler. A lot of women, both over there and here, were inspired by her and stuff like that. It's like she had a very iconic look with the hair and everything. So, yeah, it's well deserved honor for her. It's like, and I will not be surprised. Medusa is probably going to be the one to induct her because of their history and everything. I mean, Paul Heyman is a no-brainer at this point. I mean, with everything that he's done for wrestling, so well known, so influential. I easily consider him the second greatest wrestling manager of all time, behind Bobby the Brain Heenan. For all the work he's done over the decades, it's like in NWA, WCW, it's like did fantastic stuff. Is Paulie Dangerously, managed a lot of well-known wrestlers. He was even the manager of the man who became the Undertaker, Mark Callis, when he was in WCW. The whole Dangerous Alliance angle is great. And then of course, he went and took over ECW and turned ECW into a phenomenon that was a very influential piece of wrestling history. That promotion was doing things that WWE and WCW were not doing at the time during the Attitude Era. It's like so. And then of course going to WWE and working for them and working both behind the scenes and in front of the camera. Managing Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, and now in the last couple of years Roman Reigns. He's advocated for people. It's like he's people have gone to him for help. It's like Alexa Bliss leaned on Paul a lot for doing interviews and stuff, especially when she couldn't wrestle. And so they gave her a lot of talk show segments, and Paul really helped her hone her craft on that. It's like we've seen a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So it turns out that they wanted to put him in the Hall of Fame for a while, but he kept turning it down because he felt that it's like I'm not done yet. It's like there's still a lot of stuff I think I can accomplish the rest of the world. But at this point, he finally gave in, especially because it's in Philadelphia, which is it's like where ECW started. So it's like it's a no-brainer. Just the question is who's going to induct him, because there's so many. It's like, well, Brock's not going to be there, but any of the big name ECW fans that have good relationship with WWE could be there. It's like actually I think probably the best option, especially since he's not wrestling, would be CM Punk. Honestly,
yeah, I'm going with that. Jeremy's here, man. He said Heyman should be in the Hall of Fame just for how long he's had to hold basically Roman's title.
Thanks for doing it, Jeremy.
Yeah. On that, I'm with you with the CM Punk thing. I think that's probably what's going to happen, just because, like you said, he's not.
Well, there's going to be plenty of ECW guys there, like the Dudley Boys are going to be there. Time of Dream is probably going to be there.
He might bring them out. I mean, if anything,
because RVD's been working with AEW, so it's not. He may not be there. It's like, if Terry Funk was still alive, he would be there.
Yeah, Terry Funk. I think if he, because when I was racking my brain, because that's why I threw out the Mick Foley and stuff with our chats.
Mick will be there for sure.
Stone Cold.
Yeah, Mick and Stone Cold are definitely going to be there for that. They really they did work in ECW that really helped them before they went to WWE and hit it big. It's like, it's like if you ever want a masterclass on how to cut a promo, go track down Mick Foley's Kane Dewey promo they cut in ECW. It is one of the best wrestling promos of all time. It's like that promo is one of the reasons why people love Mick Foley. It's like it's just amazing. You just go check it out. You'll find it on YouTube.
And then the Stone Cold stuff of like when he got fired by Eric Bischoff.
Oh God!
And then he called him. Of course, it's in that. It's a Paul Heyman, Heyman Hustle documentary, which I would recommend if anyone's never watched it. Go watch it. It's amazing. And he does a good, and he impersonates every wrestler perfectly too.
His Hulk Hogan impression where he's mocking him in ECW is amazing. Because like Steve's like, well, I'm not cleared to wrestle yet, and Paul's like, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna give you a mic, and you just do what you gotta do. It's like, and he was. It's like he got to really vent his anger about getting fired from WCW.
And that's really not obviously he's a big looking guy, but it was the promo skills that JR was like, oh, that guy. But yeah, no, it's just I remember that line from the for Stone Cold's AEW whatever the biography, and when he got fired and he goes, I got nothing to do. Then Paul Lee calls me and says, I got an ECW. You want to come down here? He's like, hell, Paul, I'm hurt. I can't do nothing. And Paul was like, can you talk? And he goes, oh, hell yeah, I can talk. He goes, well, let's talk.
Yeah. It's like, it's like what he did managing, like what he did for Brock's career, what he did for CM Punk. It's like, it's like CM Punk went to a whole nother level when like Paul Heyman was his guy. It's like that's why I loved when he came back and he's like, yeah, Roman, don't forget I was a Paul Heyman guy before you, man.
Speaking about that, wise man. That's a good line too. If it's Roman, I wanted to say I acknowledge you into the Hall of Fame. Yeah, that would honestly that'd be funny and also kind of be sentimental at the same time because Heyman's gonna cry. Heyman can cry on cue, by the way.
Yeah, like because RVD's worked with AEW lately, I'd be really surprised if he's there.
Same thing with Taz.
Yeah, Taz will not be there because he's under contract with AEW, so he will not be there. Otherwise, he would be. But I'm sure he's gonna, he's gonna send his love to Paul. It's like, it's like, so there's gonna be a lot of star power at the Hall of Fame for Heyman's induction because of all the people that he's helped in their careers at one point.
They might just say F it and have Tommy Dreamer do it. Honestly, at the end of the day, because the original Tommy Dreamer would be the guy.
Yeah, because Tommy's made it clear how much Paul means to him in his wrestling career. It's like, Paul was there for him when he was in some really dark places. It's like if you've heard, it's like, it's like there's a time where Tommy was in a very bad place mentally, and it's like Heyman was there for him. So
I mean, it's the same. That's where I brought up JR in our chats too, because JR was so influential of how Paul went to JR. Other than Dusty Rhodes, JR really took him under his wing. Yeah. And when JR tragically lost his wife, Paul was there for him.
Yep.
On that because of how much he cared for their relationship. So that's like the big discussion that we've always had is like this should have been done 15 years ago.
Yeah. There's so many stories about Paul helping people out the build up last year's WrestleMania. It's like the story that Cody told about his
dad.
Him giving Dusty work at ECW when he was having hard times, no pun intended, financially, and helped him out, because of who Dusty was, and it's like how much he cared. So it's like Paul, Paul's been great at being a very hated heel, but in real life, he's one of the good ones. It's like you just ask all the people we talked about, and they will say I would not be gotten where I was today without Paul's help and influence.
And Paul tried everything he could with the pocketbook but for some reason,
yeah, it's like
the greatest.
that's one of his. This one, the ECW's demise. It's like he's gone on record saying, it's like I made mistakes. It's like and it's like the rise and fall of ECW documentary from back in the day was really good.
But if you didn't think that people gave a shit about Paul and that they wanted to be there for Paul, Tommy Dreamer, the Dudley Boys, all of them, Taz, they're like, we would go out there and kill for him.
Yeah, we
knew that we might come back there, might not even get paid. Didn't care. We knew what we were doing was something, and we knew what Paul's vision was working. And so if you don't think it's for the love of the business, ECW reminded me of why you do dumb shit because you love it, basically. On that, and that's why Paul deserves this 4 times over.
Yeah, he deserves his flowers.
Yes, for sure. So that's let me go with that.
Yeah, absolutely, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like
he's the best promo cutter that WWE has right now.
He's such a good talker.
Yeah. Even when they interrupt him of him like getting booing him, he's like, "I'm trying to do my shtick, guys." Like,
yeah, I know, that was great.
Like he just calls it out, doesn't care because it flows so well. But yeah, no, dude. But it always reminds me of speaking about him being such a good promo cutter. He thought he was a good promo cutter in the day, but he went out there. I think before he did the Dangerous Alliance, but he was still Paulie Dangerously, and it was in the documentary when he was talking about. He said, "I went out there and I just went off for 5 minutes, and I came back and Dusty goes, 'What did you do out there?' And he was like, 'What are you talking about?' I went and talked." He goes, "Yeah, but where's the money?" And he's like, after he said that, I was like, "Oh, yeah, I've got to sell this thing." It's the same thing when he went out there, and we're on that in the documentary. He talks about him going out there and have that famous promo of him ripping Vince McMahon's ass, right? He's run out there, and they were on that plane, and they were talking about the whole alliance thing was going on, and Michael Hayes was on there, and Vince kind of brought up about, "I need someone to talk shit about me," and Michael Hayes goes, "Well, you want someone to do it? It's Paul Lee, because he can string your ass yay wide." And then Vince looks over here and goes, "Well, can you do it?" He's like, "Yeah, I can talk." And he goes, "Can you make me money?" He goes, "Yeah, I can make you money." He goes, "Then go make me money." And then that's literally the discussion. And he went out there, and they go, "Well, how are we going to get out of this?" And they go, "Have Taz choke me out." That's literally what it was.
Yeah,
that was the discussion. And as much as Vince McMahon being just overly in the weeds of overthinking it, that was the discussion back then, and that's why the Attitude Era worked. It's because back then he didn't overthink shit. Yeah. And just let it go because he trusted the talent. He didn't trust the talent in his later years, and he also was an asshole. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about. Anything else on news?
I think that covers all the big stuff.
Yeah, because I want to show that. There was a couple other things. Obviously, Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks came out. If you want to look at that, she did have an article with some quotes about she kind of came out and said it was very tough for her to make the decision that she made when her and Naomi walked out. And then she also kind of was alluding to the fact of, you got to make some tough decisions and go where you felt comfortable. And that's
she also made it clear she has no ill will toward WWE. She says, WWE is where, I'll always be grateful to WWE because, that's where I got my start and everything. And, it also made it clear that, as like, where we go back, I was like, oh, you never know. It's like, but she's happy with what she's doing now because she's gotten to do stuff that she never would have gotten to do if she was still in WWE. So, it's like, it was like she was basically saying, it was tough, but it was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
What I had to do, what I had to do. And of course, she's still not going into details about the exact details of, about the walkout. And, I respect that because, there's no need to rehash that.
No, so, I think there's a lot more to it than.
And also, very much alluding to the fact that she's about to come to AEW.
Yeah. Which I honestly, we'll get into it because this next thing we're
That's
going to
the
we're going to show is the AEW pay-per-view, which, like I said before, they know how to do pay-per-views.
Yep.
And this one did not disappoint. So here we go.
All right, here's a recap of what happened on Sunday's AEW pay-per-view, AEW Revolution, taking place at the Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina. Sting's final match. So, on the 0 Hour pre-show, the Bang Bang Scissor Gang, the acclaimed Daddy Ass and Bullet Club Gold, defeated Jeff Jarrett, Satnam Singh, Jay Lethal, Willie Mack, and Private Party in a 12-man tag match. Chris Statler and Willow Nightingale defeated Julia Hart and Sky Blue. And then we got to the main show proper. Opening match was TNT title match. Christian Cage defending it against Daniel Garcia. They teased Garcia winning the title with some great near falls, but in the end, even after Daddy Magic was able to chase Killswitch to the back to take him out of the equation, Nick Wayne interfered, attacking Young Garcia behind the ref's back, allowing Christian to hit him with the kill switch to remain TNT champion. Next up was the Continental Crown Championship match. Eddie Kingston defending against Bryan Danielson. Fantastic match. Eddie Kingston overcame Danielson, finishing him off with a powerbomb with the win. At first, and of course, the stipulation was if Eddie won, that Danielson had to shake his hand in a sign of respect afterwards. At first, he hesitated to do it, and Eddie was pissed and was going to leave the ring, but Danielson finally relented, shook his hand, and raised his hand, finally giving Eddie his respect. Then we had the All-Star Scramble match. Winner would get a future AEW World Championship title match. Wardlow against Chris Jericho, Powerhouse Hobbs, Lance Archer, Hook, Brian Cage, Magnus, and Dante Martin. Lots of chaos, but in the end, Wardlow powerbombed Dante Martin, pick up the victory, and earn the title shot. Next up was the AEW International Championship match. Orange Cassidy defending against Roderick Strong. And Roderick Strong defeated Orange Cassidy clean to become the new international champion. And then we got a bit of a surprise as Kyle O'Reilly finally returned to AEW after being off for more than a year due to a neck injury, neck fusion surgery. He came out and hugged Roderick Strong. They offered him a shirt, obviously wanting him to join them in the United Kingdom, but he gave the shirt back and whispered something to Strong and walked off, making it clear that Kyle is going to be a babyface for the time being and not aligning with his buddies Adam Cole and Strong in the Kingdom yet. We shall see. Then we had a grudge match. Blackpool Combat Club, John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli taking on FTR. A great match. But Blackpool Combat Club came out on top on this one with Moxley choking out Dax Harwood into unconsciousness for the victory. And then next up was the AEW Women's Championship match. Thomas Toni Storm defending against Deonna Purrazzo. Great bit where Mariah May came out dressed as a classic version of Toni Storm when she first started out as a babyface to mess with Deonna. Back and forth match, but in the end, thanks to distraction from Mariah May, Timeless was able to get the victory over Deonna to remain champion. Then we had a match of the year contender match between Will Ospreay and Konosuke Takeshita. This match was an absolute banger, 5-star level match of awesomeness. They just beat the living crap out of each other, but Will Ospreay got the victory with the Hidden Blade. Just awesomeness match. It's like on the highlights of the pay-per-view. Then another highlight was the three-way triple threat for the AEW Championship. Samoa Joe defending against Heyman, Anna Page, and Swerve Strickland. Lots of great storyline stuff in this one, with Hangman doing everything he could to prevent Swerve from winning. Taking out not one but two referees to prevent Swerve from picking up the victory. But it ended up backfired, and Joe slapped the Coquina clutch on Hangman, and Hangman tapped out before Swerve could prevent it, and Joe is still world champion. Yeah, which is a great match. And then finally, of course, the main event, Sting's final match, his retirement match, as he and Darby Allin defended the AEW World Tag Team Championship in a tornado tag match against the Young Bucks. Ric Flair was at ringside. Ricky Steamboat was the guest timekeeper. Lex Luger, Ivan Koloff, and Magnum TA were watching at ringside. Great intro, and it's also a great moment when Sting came out flanked by his two sons, each dressed up like him. His one son was dressed up like classic Surfer Sting with the red, and the other was rocking the old red and black Wolfpack version of Sting. And they got involved in the match early, hit Stinger splashes on the Bucks along with their dad in a great moment. This match was just pure chaos. Lots of insane, especially the most insane, of course, moment was Darby Allin doing a spot where he dove off of a 20-foot ladder in the ring, tried a coffin drop Nick Jackson through a plane of glass that was propped up on chairs, and he was pulled out of the way at the last moment, and Darby crashed through the glass and got really messed up. Amazingly, only needed 12 stitches to patch himself up afterwards, apparently. So the doctors were attending to him, making sure he was okay. He was out of the match for a while, and the Bucks double team Sting for a while, trying to hit him threw everything but the kitchen sink at him. Super kick party, EVB trigger. Sting would not go down. Ricky Steamboat and Ric Flair got involved, and the Bucks took them out for more heel heat. But in the end, Sting overcame the odds. Darby recovered to assist Sting, hit a coffin drop on Matt Jackson, and then Sting put him in the Scorpion Deathlock to make him tap out to pick up the victory, as Sting goes out undefeated in his AEW career, along with Darby, undefeated as tag team champions. And wonderful moment. Got to say some words, but unfortunately they ran out of time and some of it got cut off. But the full post-match celebration and farewell for Sting was posted on YouTube. Check it out if you have it. It's really excellent. Very, very, very heartening. The entire roster and Tony Khan came out, and Sting thanking them and the fans and for everything as he signed off on his pro wrestling career. Tony later announced that since Sting was retiring, the tag team titles were going to be vacated, and a tournament will be held to crown new tag team champions. So overall, heck of a pay-per-view. Go into more detail with Josh. That's all that happened on Sting's farewell at AEW Revolution.
I mean, just.
Apologize for the coughing there. It's like I'm still recovering.
No, you're good. No, but it's that obviously as a person who didn't pay for it, saw the highlights, but you got a 5-star match, one of the match of the years, and Ospreay and Takeshita.
Yeah,
you got the Sting Darby match. I mean, just Eddie Kingston and Bryan Danielson. You put Bryan Danielson against the Squirrel, it's going to work. But Eddie Kingston still has the gravitas to make that work. I was surprised that Christian Cage went over on Daniel Garcia.
Yeah.
I did not like that.
I was kind of hoping
he was
Garcia would win.
built to do that. Understand the decision making.
That near fall when he countered the spear into a pile driver. It's like that I thought that was it. And it's like the fans were like, it's like they bought that. That's like, because it's like his feud with Adam Copeland and Edge doesn't need the title, so it's just like
no.
So I was a little disappointed by that, but overall, this pay-per-view was a home run grand slam level pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Not the only match I considered like a weak match was the scramble match, because that was just a mess. It's like I get what they're trying to do, but there's just too many people having to, I gotta get out of the match and let other people do it. I'll just sit outside of the ring and pretend that I'm gassed. It's like,
yeah.
But the right guy won, Warlow, so yeah. But other than that, there weren't any. Other than that match, the only one that was kind of like a little disappointing was Tony versus Deanna. It was good, but I was expecting great. And the finish was like, come on, I was hoping no interference, but but there was just so many amazing, mind-blowingly good matches here. Like, yeah. Danielson versus Eddie was excellent. Ospreay Takeshita just had a match of the year candidate. And there was like,
you have a nitpick about that, but I'll let you get to the rest of the card.
The triple threat for the world title delivered. Great storytelling in that one, with Hangman just going batshit crazy, trying to do everything good to make sure the Swerve didn't win the match, attacking not one but two referees, blatantly, because taking advantage of no DQ and a triple threat. Just fantastic stuff. And then the main event delivered. It's like, is it like a technical masterpiece? No, but was it mind-blowingly fun and with insane spots and just everything. I mean, the video package, Sting's sons, them attacking the Bucks, and it's like, that it's like Bucks doing everything they could to try to kill Sting, and he just would not die, and then they getting more and more pissed off. The homages, the legends getting involved, everything worked. My only criticism of the match is the Darby spot with the glass. It's like,
why?
It's like,
but that's the only spot that Darby wanted.
Yeah,
that's the crazy part.
I know.
It's like, dude, you're going. Why? Why do you keep? I am not his mindset.
I don't understand why he thinks he needs to put his body on the line like that. He doesn't need to. The fans already love him. It's like they love him for his character work, his promo work. I mean, some of the videos and the promos he cuts are really creative. It's like, and he's got a charisma to him and everything. It's like this, it's like Jim Cornette went on an epic rant about Darby and his recklessness. And I don't agree with everything Cornette says, but I think he nailed a lot of important points. That it's like what Darby's doing is not necessary. It's dangerous, and it's like, and he likes Darby. It's like he says, he's talented. He's got charisma. It's very obvious, but he's like I can't. It's like I can't. It's like I'm done with him. It's like he's being reckless. It's like to do this kind of stuff, it's completely unnecessary. It's like he goes, it doesn't matter if it was real glass or fake glass. It's like if that gets in people's eyes or mouths, it's like they're gonna get hurt. It's like it's like I was wondering. I was like, oh my god, that better be sugar glass, because that's real glass. What the fuck? It's like,
you saw his back. That wasn't sugar glass. You saw his back. That wasn't sugar glass.
No, that's what I was. I was just like, oh my god, I think that was real glass.
You know that Shannon Sharp meme when he's like pointing, like, I told you, like he did this, and it was like CM Punk looking at that spot, being like, "That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
that's why you don't do it."
It's like it's like I like him, but it's just like at this point, it's like, dude, you can't keep doing this, because you're gonna seriously injure yourself and send yourself into early retirement, or worse, end up in a wheelchair.
Or just say fucking go climb Mount Everest.
Which is,
what you do.
not safe either.
No. People die doing that shit. Like it's crazy.
It's really frustrating. But besides that,
and I don't disagree, Jeremy.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
But it's just like it's completely unnecessary risks. It's like you do not need to put your body on the line like that. Like the spot where Sting went through the glass, it's still dangerous, but at least it was in the ring, like a quick thing, not coming 20 feet off the air, going through the glass, and the only thing that's breaking your fall is the padding on the floor.
Right, and then he nicked the chair on top of it.
On top of that, like if he goes a little bit the wrong way, he's in the hospital.
He wants his Mick Foley moment so bad because, I mean, I understand the daredevil aspect of it. I mean, climbing Mount Everest.
And Mick will tell you, it's like, don't do the stuff I did because Mick's in a lot of pain. It's like
which is another thing about Mick, and we'll get into the fact that he wants to try and do a death match at his 60th birthday, which we'll get into that next week.
No, I don't want to get into that because I got a lot of feelings about it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that next week.
But it's Darby drives me nuts right now, man. It's like it's completely necessary. Other than that, the match delivered exactly how it should be. It was a great send off for Sting, great moment. So, there's a couple weak spots, but overall, this pay-per-view was excellent. It might be one of the best AEW pay-per-views all time. Potentially, it's like this blew World's End out of the water. World's End was a meth pay-per-view.
That was the worst pay-per-view
one of their worst. This blew World's End out of the fucking water in quality. And it's like they got back on track in this, and hopefully they'll keep.
And then we'll talk about Dynamite because they kept it going.
No. It's like they're. I like where this is going. It's like, and hopefully TK can keep it up because it's like they're building momentum toward some good stuff here. And so,
you spoke about Jim Cornette, and I'm gonna put my Cornette hat on here, and I'm gonna talk about the Tanesh because I had the spot that people talked about. I had a problem with, and it's the typical Ospreay no selling shit. You went. Takeshita had him and caught him, did a reversal to the pile driver to a crazy ass German suplex, and then Ospreay just popped right up and then did a clothesline. I'm like,
I get that.
Oh my god, sell the fucker.
Really, this is where I also agree with Cornette and also Bret Hart, where like there's guys that really need to like sell. It's like you want to see how good selling is? Go back to the Orange Cassidy Roderick Strong match. Orange Cassidy was selling those backbreakers stuff Roddy was doing to him like he was getting shot in the back with a shotgun. Especially the one that made me go when he dropped him on the fucking turnbuckle.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like,
that was a nasty spot. And Orange Cassidy was just like acting like he should be like he's like, oh my god, the pain. Yeah, that's how you fucking sell.
Right. That was the only thing I'm like, as soon as I saw that, people were like, oh my god, this match is so good. I'm like, where? He just went to he reversed it into a pile driver and then picked him up to a German suplex. And then Will Ospreay sold it as springing up and then shaking off and then did a clothesline.
Sometimes these guys care too much about going from spot to spot to spot without thinking about the psychology and the selling.
Right.
It's like there's guys that are still do that and good at that, but there's others who are really talented that have a bad habit of not selling stuff properly. It's like, I mean, look at Eddie and Eddie Danielson match. That's selling. It's like he went after Eddie's arm in his hand to try to neutralize the spinning back fist. And it's like Eddie sold it like he was getting physically dissected, like Danielson was peaked on the bruiserweight. It's like
And as good as we know Eddie's conditioning is, it looks like he's blown up every match. But I think I don't know if it's like a little bit of both. I don't know. But every time.
Christian, selling like his ankle was hurt. It's like selling is really important. And there's some really talented people that kind of blow that off way too much. It's like
Ospreay just doesn't sell to me. That's the only knock on him. To me, I think he is the greatest. He is the best top 5.
He is one of the best wrestlers on the planet right now. There's no question about that. But yeah, it's like he needs. It would be nice if he sold some stuff a little bit more. It's like that's. I totally agree.
Especially the spot that people are highlighting of Takeshita catching him doing a pile driver in it, which is more of a Takeshita thing of just like, I didn't know how you had that in you, and like they can make a match, but you gotta sell. That's why I'm always like big on like people love that Ricochet Ospreay match. That was more of just a Cirque du Soleil but they're in a wrestling ring. Like I understood. Like I don't really care for Cornette's opinions a lot, but I can't help but like look at that and be like, dude, you should be.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's a valid criticism.
Yeah. So, but other than that, like, still that match still was 5 stars. Like, it still was amazing. And because we went into that match being like, yeah, Ospreay's gonna win, whatever. But Takeshita and Ospreay was the match of the night.
I felt he sold more against Fletcher on Dynamite than he did against Takeshita. Because I was like feeling it with their match on Dynamite where they were beating the bejesus out of each other.
Yeah, because after Revolution, I was like, all right, because I knew Will Ospreay was going to be there. I was like, all right, let me watch this Will Ospreay match, and I watched it. I was like, damn, this guy's good.
Yeah,
like it's just ridiculous how good he is.
Ridiculous.
He's so smooth. Everything looks freaking easy. I thought he hyperextended his damn knee. We'll get into it, but I thought he actually hyperextended his damn knee with that top turnbuckle bullshit. Anyway, hey, Tony Khan, don't fuck this up right now. That's all we have.
Seriously, especially with Miss Monet coming. It's like you really can't fuck her up. It's like you can't afford to. It's like you got Ospreay and Okada leaving New Japan to come work for you full time. You got one of the best women's wrestlers of this generation coming to work for you. It's like there's things are perfect, but we're seeing a lot of improvement lately, and definitely saw improvement about how Dynamite went. It's like keep it up, don't fuck it up, don't let things get out of control, please.
Right,
keep it up.
But after seeing Okada's contract, I am interested to see what Mercedes' contract was.
Well, because there was worries about like they weren't willing to pay her the money that she was looking for, so
that's what they said with WWE. And if we saw Okada's contract, we're like, what's Mercedes' contract? 3.5?
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. Well, let's move on to SmackDown.
Yeah.
And basically The Rock's 40-minute promo.
All right. Here's a recap of what happened on last week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. The show opened with the Bloodline, including The Rock coming out. This was a very long opening promo segment, almost 40 minutes. The gist of it was, it's like Rock insulting Cody and Seth Rollins, and basically saying that he's responds to Cody's challenge to a match from Elimination Chamber by saying he's got a counter offer. He's not going to get a one-on-one match with The Rock. Instead, he proposes that Cody and Seth face him and Roman in a tag team match on the first night of WrestleMania, with implications toward Cody versus Roman on night 2. If Cody and Seth somehow win the tag match, then the Bloodline will be banned from the building and will not be able to run interference in Cody and Roman's title match. But if Rock and Roman win, then Cody versus Roman will still happen, but it will be under Bloodline rules, which means anything goes, and that The Rock and them will be able to do whatever they want to make sure that Cody does not defeat Roman for the title. At the end of it, Roman asked The Rock to acknowledge him as tribal chief, which he did, although you could see some hesitation there, planting seeds for later. Then we got to our first match. Tiffany Stratton defeated Naomi in a one-on-one match. Then we had a tag match. Bailey and Dakota Kai teaming up against Asuka and Kairi Sane, the tag team champions of Damage Control. When Bailey went to make a tag finally to Dakota, she revealed that it was a ruse. She turned on Bailey, and the match ended in no contest when all four of them dragged Bailey into the ring and gave her a beat down. So much for Dakota being on Bailey's side. Braun Breaker squashed Zion Quinn really quickly. I think it was only about like 10 seconds maybe. Just speared him and it was over. As they get ready to push him to the moon. Then we had a street fight between Carlito and Santos Escobar. Legado de Fantasma and LWO all got involved. And just what it looked like Escobar was going to win the match. Rey Mysterio's music hits, and he finally returned from injury. He pretended to come out in crutches, but he was faking it. Used the crutches as a weapon to take out Humberto and Angel. Got in the ring, and together he and Carlito took it to Escobar, and Carlito put Escobar through a table and pinned him to win the match. So welcome back, Rey Mysterio. And definitely pencil in him versus Escobar at WrestleMania, I think. We had a segment in the back where Jake Cargill butted heads with Damage Control, teasing something that could potentially happen later. LA Knight was looking for AJ Styles and had the chair that he used against him at Elimination Chamber and was planning on using on him, although Aldis told LA Knight that he told AJ not to show up this week because he knew that LA Knight was going to want to get his payback. But LA Knight said he's only delaying the inevitable. And then we got to our main event, which was set up early in the show with Grayson Waller and Austin Theory running their mouths about what their buddy Logan Paul did to Randy Orton. So Orton challenged Austin Theory to a one-on-one match, and that was the main event. Kevin Owens was on commentary for the match. It was back and forth, but in the end, of course, Randy Orton emerged victorious, gave him the RKO. Grayson Waller and then tried to be up on Randy, and so Kevin Owens came to Orton's aid, and they fought off the heels and shared a fist bump of respect to close out the show. So that's all that happened on last week's episode of Friday Night Smackdown.
All right, we got breaking news. Okay.
Yeah.
So Dominic Mysterio got married today. So congratulations to him.
Mm-hmm.
But we have video of everyone's response when he got on the mic to thank everyone since they were there.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out.
Hilarious.
Thank you, everyone, again for coming out.
All right, so yeah, he got booed at his own wedding.
Hilarious.
That's what you were doing your preview, and I saw that. I was like, "Oh my god, I gotta share this." Dominic was. That's why I love wrestling. It transcends.
Yeah.
It transcends. But shout out to Dominic Mysterio. Congratulations,
Congratulations, Dom.
I'm glad. I hope your bride is amazingly beautiful. Hope you have a wonderful life, and that your wedding was full of chicken nuggets.
Oh,
or chicken tenders. Sorry, chicken tenders. You're a chicken tenders guy. That's a big thing. That just recently came out. Is they asked Rhea Ripley about Dominic Mysterio. He goes, he has the worst diet. He would literally eat chicken tenders all day, every day, and he doesn't want ketchup. It's just ranch or nothing. So that's.
Oh,
what
he's
he
a
wants.
ranch person. Interesting.
Yeah, he's a ranch person.
Yeah.
On that. So, but yeah, no, he just got married to pretty much his childhood sweetheart. There's many
nice.
pictures of them throughout the thing. So, congratulations, Dominic, and you suck at the same time, I guess. On that, but yeah, no, all right. So I had to share that. I know it's a little break in the show, but I couldn't help but show that was awesome. I feel like I would get booed at my wedding. Yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen someone get booed, but that's hilarious. On that, but yeah, no. Speaking of this show, that LA Knight is so old school to me, and the way he was going around trying to find AJ Styles with that chair
Old school,
had
baby.
that old school flair to me, and I really liked it.
And it works, and it's like, and that's why he's gotten so over, because like the fans dig it. And man, that it's like kind of a great promo about like, you know, like it's only a matter of time before he gets his hands on EJ. You know, it's like, you know, it's like, and you can hear people in the arena when he says, "Yeah," you can hear in the background the response. It's like, so, yeah, the Rock and Roman bloodline stuff was predictable. It was still entertaining, but I think it definitely ran too long. But Dippy time is still awesome time. She's
so smooth. Every day I watch her, I'm like, yeah. Ever since that Becky match, when I was like, all right, you got me, and then every time I'm like, all right, it's time for me to watch. I'm not fast forwarding anything.
Well, it sucks that Naomi had to take a loss. It's like, but it's like, you know,
what can he do? She's not Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, but
I mean,
I did forget to mention about, you know, there's a promo exchange. Karen Cross is gonna Lashley are gonna have a match on this week's SmackDown, continuing the feud between their factions. Love the street fight stuff. Great movement forward in the LWO versus Legado feud. Nice that Rey Mysterio is back. Because it felt like they've been kind of like stalling as much as possible the storyline until Rey could get was medically cleared to return to the ring. And so now we can really get into high gear with the feud, man.
All right.
Also nice to see Carlito get a win.
Yeah, no. I'm totally with that. Here's my question. Is this the worst build to a women's main event that's won a Royal Rumble?
It hasn't been. It hasn't. I feel like
she's not on the poster. They hardly mention her. They hardly do anything. It takes CM Punk to be like, oh, after the show, let's talk about Bayley. This just feels disingenuous to Bayley at this point. And I don't see where I don't, and like there's no one else to help her.
Yeah, I'm with you. The storyline beats are making sense. Although I was worried that they were going to have Dakota turn on her that quickly, and they did, and I was just like, so predictable.
I wish it was later on, like we talked about before. It needed to happen because, unfortunately, they need a mouthpiece.
Yeah. And Dakota's fine for that. Unless she can go in the ring when she's still 100%. I don't know if she's completely cleared, but she definitely can be able to get at least a little physical. But yeah, I think they could have stretched out a little bit longer before she stabbed her in the back like that. It's like, you know, it because we still got several weeks to go. We got a whole month to go to Mania. So
here's the issue, and here's why they booked themselves in the dumbass corner.
And what's with the Jade Cargill tease? Is that I think that's related to the tag team titles. There's people speculating that this could lead to Jade and Bianca challenging the Kabuki Warriors at WrestleMania for the tag titles.
Possibly, but here's the issue: is if Bayley overcomes all four of them, you just buried 4 female wrestlers.
That's why I don't think she's winning. I don't think she's beating Io for the title.
Right.
It's like she doesn't. I think this is just like the first phase, because the first phase is, you know, she has no friends because of, you know, what she's done with Damage Control since she created it. So Bianca and them are not going to lend a hand to help her out at this point. They'll consider this karma. What's happening to her right now. But eventually, she's going to get people on her side to be able to really take the fight damage control. Right now, it's about they've turned on her and she's outnumbered and outgunned, and she's just going to put up the best fight she can. But I agree that I feel like the build I hopefully will improve, because it's been okay, but it hasn't. It's like it feels like it's definitely missing some stuff for sure.
Yeah, and what's missing is freaking Sasha Banks. That's what it's missing.
Yeah, I know.
Let's just call a spade a spade.
It's
missing Sasha Banks.
Returned, this feud build toward Mania would be red fucking hot.
Mm-hmm. But shit happens.
Yep, stuff happens.
What are they going to do with Randy and Kevin for WrestleMania? Because what would have been a better tag team match would have been Cody and Randy Orton, because that had more situations than freaking Seth Rollins. Someone pointed that out. I'm like, I agree.
Yeah. Either one of them is going to get to face Logan Paul for the title, or it'll be a triple threat. I could see it going either way. Right now, I feel like it's leaning toward a triple threat, because it's like,
okay,
that way they both are looking to try to destroy Logan, and it's like it's a matter of, can Logan survive trying both KO and Randy trying to destroy him at the same time? We'll see.
And he should. To me, I think
I wouldn't mind him holding for a title just a little bit longer.
I can't believe we're still every show we talk about Logan Paul. I just have to say, like, I can't believe he.
And it was just announced today. His brother Jake is gonna box Tyson on Netflix. Oh my god. Oh boy.
57-year-old. Good job, Jake. You did it. Let me look at the other things. Braun, I thought Zion
it was very Goldberg like that squash. It was very Goldberg.
Yeah, I thought he would get I thought Zion would get some offense in. Damn.
No, it was just it was spirit pin done.
All right. So my last thing I'm gonna bring up on this show, The Rock cut that long ass promo, Roman interrupting him, which was cool.
Yep.
Saying acknowledge me. He acknowledged him, which I thought was bullshit. As far as The Rock actually,
you could tell that The Rock. There was hesitation. He didn't say it right away. It took him a bit to say it. Like I don't want to say it, but I have to.
And I'm gonna bring up what we all brought up, is doing this to this, going from that, which Bullet Club, and then we'll do that. The one he did that, he held it for a second. Did that. Seth Rollins did it, which we'll talk about on Raw. Seth Rollins did it the same time. And we all know where this is pretty much going to go. But what did you think of The Rock's promo?
I thought it worked overall. It was a little longer than it probably needed to be, but it got down to the gist of it about the tag match and the stipulations that may get applied to Cody Roman on night 2, depending on who wins. I get why they're doing it. It adds intrigue. Puts The Rock on the card and blah blah blah. It's a risky proposition having Roman, Cody, and Seth wrestling, doing double duty in WrestleMania, wrestling both nights. And
we'll get into it next segment with Raw, because your boy alluded to that.
Yeah, I know, and they are leading to it. Drew McIntyre is like, Seth, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Yeah. His opponent is telling him, dude, what are you doing? On that, and which I think is awesome. Is long, the way they're pivoting is pivoting as much as they possibly can. Because there ain't no way it wasn't a pivot.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a pivot.
Yeah, no. They saw the backlash. They're like, no, we got to pivot.
They got to pivot.
No, it's like it's like they will. If we don't have Cody versus Roman, it's like they will boo. The Philly crowd will boo Rock and Roman out of the fucking building. They will shit all over the match.
Yeah.
They could not afford to do that.
You're not going to fool Philly.
Because they'll ruin it. Because Rock and Roman should happen. The problem was just not at the expense of Cody. It's like,
no. We've been saying for years, that's why Cody should have won last year. Gosh damn it. God. Everything would just be, it's perfect. Would be perfect right now for
There
the
would
whole.
have been issues if Cody had won last year.
No. Would have hurt Cody maybe, because like I said, when you get to the mountaintop, it's hard to figure out what the hell you're going to do. But the John Cena was on the mountaintop for 20 years and it worked, despite the crowd. But it still worked. He still was a moneymaker. Cody Rhodes, the way he does,
it's like they had to pivot. They had no choice.
Yeah. So you unfortunately WWE, you did this, and you're making the best you can with where you put yourself.
Yep.
I will say that. I will give you props because you are typically you would just hear Charlotte Flair and deal with it, you know, type of thing. Whereas no, you are pivoting the best you can. And when they said, "I don't want to face you, but we'll do a tag team match," and I'm like, and I just kind of just went, But when you saw that when you saw that freaking reel of the four of them facing off, you're like, well, this is gonna happen. But then when The Rock actually said it, I was like
I think the idea is sound. It's just risky having these everyone but The Rock doing double duty at WrestleMania. You know, it's like wrestling both nights. It's like you better hope nobody gets injured. You better hope nobody gets injured. You know, anybody but The Rock. If Rock gets injured, you know, that's not gonna be the end of the world. But if anything happens to Roman and Cody or Seth, night 2 is gonna get fucked up.
Honestly, the tag match is probably the best thing for The Rock because of he'll probably get blown up if he did it.
Just like why Sting only wrestled in tag matches, you know?
Right.
Like The Rock is still in great shape, but he's past his prime.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
conditioning can only take you so far in over 50, because he's what 51.
Tag match can help to hide deficiencies.
Rock's what 52.
Yeah, he's in his 50s.
Yeah, so. Yeah, but no. Overall, Tiffy time, the Bailey Dakota stuff, LA Knight just giving that old school stuff.
Yeah,
I didn't really care for the main event, but
solid show. Not the best show, but a solid show.
No. I did crack up with Randy Orton, be like, "Oh, I got this great idea."
Yeah, I know.
That cracked me. I was just like, "Oh my god!" I was smiling ear to ear the whole time.
You can tell how much fun Randy is.
He's having so much fun. Got this great idea, guys. Oh my god! Oh, even better! I'm gonna kick your ass.
I know that was great stuff where he was like just messing with the two of them backstage. That was great.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to
Raw. All right, here's a recap of what happened on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. The show opened with Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins cutting a promo in the ring, recapping The Rock's challenge on SmackDown for them to face him and Roman Reigns in a tag match with stipulation implications for Cody and Roman's title match on night 2. Basically, without saying it, they're basically probably going to accept the challenge. Rollins revealed that he is finally 100% medically cleared to compete in the ring again, referred to The Rock as Diarrhea Dwayne. And Cody said that they'll give Rock and Roman their answer in person on SmackDown. Then we had our first match, Gunther defending the it was not a title match. Gunther just took on Dominic Mysterio in a non-title match. And as you would expect, he absolutely destroyed Dominic Mysterio. Dominic tried to put up a fight, but Gunther just absolutely murdered him and made him tap out to a Boston Crab, pick up the victory. All of Damage Control, 4 of them, including Dakota, arrived. They wanted to check out tag match later in the evening that was about to come up between the women, because it had potential implications for the Kabuki Warriors defending their tag titles. And Adam Pearce said they didn't want them to cause any kind of issues. So they were out and watched Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark take on Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. Shayna and Zoe picked up the victory. After the match, Dakota got in the ring and told the two of them, that they can have a shot against Kabuki Warriors for the tag team titles next week on Raw, after they take care of Lyra Valkyria and Tatum Paxley on NXT Roadblock on the following night. More on that when we get to NXT. And Shaden was quite happy that they're going to get their shot. Judgment Day was taking care of Dominic Spiro back as he recovered from getting destroyed by Gunther. And David Priest told JD that he needs to go make it right. And so they left to take care of things. Interesting moment where Andrade popped in, check on Dominic, make sure it was okay. So that's definitely a storyline that's starting to build. Then we had Becky Lynch taking on Nia Jax one-on-one. Good back and forth match. But to pay back for what happened last week, Liv Morgan came out and attacked Nia Jax, causing a disqualification. They teamed up and fought off Nia Jax, but got into an argument afterwards, and that argument continued in the back. And Becky challenged Liv to a one-on-one match next week to settle their issues, with Rhea only just laughing at Becky's problems. Then Adam Pearce announced that to decide who would face Gunther for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania, there would be a gauntlet match next week, and the winner of the gauntlet match would face him for the title. And the participants are going to be Sami Zayn, Ricochet, Chad Gable, Bronson Reed, Shinsuke Nakamura, and JD McDonough. Then Andrade made his Raw debut match against Apollo Crews, and Andrade picked up the victory. There was a segment in the back with some of the women in the tag division, Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae, frustrated about their recent loss to the Kabuki Warriors. Talia and Tegan Knox trying to get on the same page. Ivy Down, Maxine Dupree commenting, and Candice threw a hissy fit and left. So they're definitely trying to build some storylines for there. Judgment Day took on Imperium in a non-title match, with Judgment Day picking up the victory. It was part of their payback against Imperium for what happened to Dominic early in the show. They recapped that Paul Heyman was going to be inducted to the Hall of Fame. It was announced earlier in the day. Then we had Sami Zayn taking on Ivar. Sami Zayn picking up the victory with the fluid kick. But after the match, Bronson Reed came out and attacked Sammy and gave him the tsunami. Then further build to the gauntlet match, Chad Gable confronted Gunther in the back and said that he plans on winning because this one means just a little bit more to him than anybody else, wanting to get revenge on Gunther. There's a segment in the back with DIY, R-Truth, Xavier Woods, and The Miz all playing WWE 2K24. And Miz said that he has the right idea on how they need to get their payback on Judgment Day, is that to get the tag team titles off of their waists. So he's going to title shot first, and we'll find out. And then we had our main event, Jey Uso taking on Drew McIntyre after what happened last week. Good back and forth match, but then Solo Sikoa arrived looking to attack Jey. So Cody Rhodes ran out to attack Solo and to get him to stop him. And then Jey hit the spear. It looked like he was going to go up top for the top rope splash, but Jimmy Uso showed up again. Didn't attack, but it was enough of a distraction for Drew McIntyre to hit Jey with Claymore and pick up the victory. After the match, McIntyre left, and Jimmy went to attack his brother again. This brought Seth Rollins to come out to help Jey Uso. And Jimmy retreated. But then when Seth turned around, Drew McIntyre had returned and claymored Seth in the face and stood over him, taunting him with the world title belt, saying that he was losing focus and that he was going to take the title from him at WrestleMania. So that's how things went on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw.
All right, just like we do every time, we're gonna finish off NXT with about my girl. We're gonna finish off Raw about your boy. All right. So with this show, Gunther and Dominic Mysterio was awesome.
Yes, it is
and
exactly
the way,
what I was going to go.
It was the way he chopped him out of his vest, the way
Yep.
Dominic Mysterio and the way the Judgment Day reacted to it. They weren't pissed. They just told Dominic, "We told you."
Yeah,
You know.
It's like it. I liked it because it's like they warned him. It's like it downloaded us that he's not in Gunther's league. Gunther had his way with him.
Mhm.
Like at one point he could have pinned him, but he picked him up and was like, "No, I'm gonna hurt him more.
Yeah.
Teach him a lesson."
And there was, and Dominic even got some near falls. Like it was a great match. Just be like, no, Gunther is totally better than Dominic.
Yep.
Dominic was out of his league, but he
chopping
still had
his soul
enough
out of his
to
body.
like possibly like it was great story. This was a great storytelling match of showing that this guy could possibly be there, but he ain't there yet.
Nope.
And this guy is way above this other guy.
Yep.
That was a chef's kiss of how to tell a story of where two other wrestlers are at this time, but not belittling the other one.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really.
And I'm wondering where the stuff with him and Andrade is going.
Yes, that was my next question: is what are we doing? Like we knew that we thought Andrade would be involved with the LWO stuff. No, but he still is dealing with family business because of Dominic.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we knew Ray way back when he came back to WWE, he threw out, he wanted to do LWO with, his son and Andrade and like all the other stuff. Now, will we get that? Maybe, probably not. But it's intriguing.
Yeah.
And I love the way that they do it. And with Triple H doing it, they're going to do it at least to an extent that we're going to like.
Yeah.
But I just really enjoy as much of a squash, but not a squash match. Like that is a chef's kiss of how you don't hurt someone, but also it also show that this dude is just way better than someone else.
It shows that Dom has a long way to go, and showing that why Gunther is the ring general. It was well executed. It told exactly what it
and that is very hard to do.
It is, yeah.
So I do want, that was like the first thing I want to start off with. The Cody Seth promo was good.
Diarrhea Dwayne was weak sauce.
Well, he was trying.
He was trying, but it was weak sauce. I'm sorry.
Oh no! As soon as he said that, I was like, "Oh my god, this is."
That was not good.
It came out. It came out. Well, came out, but. Speaking of diarrhea, later on, people were like, "That was just the most bullshit thing I've ever heard." And he goes, "No, I was trying to poke fun at The Rock because The Rock would say some type of dumbass rib like that." I'm like,
"I get it, but it just didn't."
You're saving face. You're trying to save face, dude. That was bad.
Seth, I love you, but it's like you can do.
Drew McIntyre ripped you online, being like, "You had all this time, and this is what you came up with."
It's like yeah, no, their Twitter exchange was great this week. Be like, bitch.
Drew McIntyre is. We'll get, like I said, we're gonna end Raw with talk about your boy, because he's been on fire online since CM Punk. But that other than the diarrhea, Dwayne, does Cody Rhodes ever cut a bad promo?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, he even said, because I was with him, he's like, "You can say all you want. Don't talk about my dog." And I'm like, "You damn right. Don't talk about my dog."
Yeah, that was I like that.
On that. So that was good there. And then obviously his stuff online was really good. I like that they're trying to boost Zoe and Shayna. We talked about that before. That's a really good tag team.
Yeah, they're just not going to win the tag titles.
No, hell no. They're not going to win the tag titles. And I'm liking that they're
trying to build a division.
They're trying. That's what I'm saying. Like, I like the way they're trying to build the division. We've been talking about that for 6 months now. They are actually putting work into building the division.
But at least they're trying.
And they've got the titles on the right tag team.
Yes. Yeah. No, Asuka and Kairi provide stability. They've been tag champs before, so they got the chemistry down. They're awesome. So they can hold on to the titles for a little bit while they really build a division, and then you get another credible team to be champions. So it's just going to take. It's good. They got Triple H's got his work cut out for it, because it's like because the tag division has been a mess for a long time. So It's going to take time.
Well, I mean, the tag division's been a mess on even the male side for a while.
Yeah.
It's like it's weird when you like try and book like a solid show top to bottom and not give shit to, even though SmackDown gave way too much time to The Rock, but whatever.
So Miz is like, okay, we need to take I know how we can hurt Judgment Day. We need to take the tag titles off him. Okay,
it's gonna happen.
Miz Truth, yeah.
Miz, the Truth is way too over.
Yeah,
to not get those tag titles off of Judgment Day, because the other tag teams that they haven't built up.
I'm okay with that as long as DIY gets them next after.
Miz, the Awesome Truth, unless
it's not going to have the tag titles.
Unless they Awesome Truth is going to take the tag titles off of Judgment Day at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
it's just gonna happen, and I'm okay with it because they've earned. Our Truth at least.
Miz and Truth deserve to have a nice one.
Yeah, Miz and Truth have
been. What happened with like KO and Sammy had that awesome moment when they beat the Usos for the tag titles last year. You know, it's like. For Truth winning.
At first, I was like, "Come on," because we want the other tag teams to get there. But the thing is like, what else are you gonna do with Miz and Truth?
Regeneration X.
Yeah. Oh my God, we talked about that. The DIX. That's so cool.
I love that Johnny and Chop are just rolling with it.
also, I want to give props to WWE on how they're promoting their game, and during their matches they show the ratings, because people give a fuck about the Madden ratings, and the fact that they're showing the ratings between the two wrestlers during the matches, that's really good promotion.
Really clever.
I tip hats off to that.
Yeah, they started doing that at Elimination Chamber, and I like that they're still doing it. You know, it's like
I do like that little nugget. The Judgment Day Imperium match, dude. Imperium and Judgment Day, have they ever put on? When's the last time you saw them put on a bad match?
Those two teams couldn't have a bad match unless they tried.
No. The Drew McIntyre. Okay, so Sammy and Ivan. Okay, let's do this before we get to your boy.
I got thoughts about the Scramble match.
Yeah, that's what I was getting into. Let's get into that before we get into your boy. I'll let you go ahead last. All right. So I was hoping your booking would be what happened. You got me so hyped up with your booking.
Yeah.
That when they called this match, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I want this. Because then you got to make me choose between Gable and Sammy. And honestly, it hurts me. I want Gable.
Yeah, but I also don't want to see Sammy lose out on a cool opportunity either. So it's like because it's hard because I love Sammy, but Chad winning fits the storyline that's been going that this has been building toward, and I'm all for it. I would love to see Chad win the Intercontinental title. He hasn't had that title. It'd be a great moment for him to dethrone Gunther. So, but it just sucks that, you know, it's like, oh, then what's Sammy going to do at WrestleMania? You know, it's like,
and it's a disservice to Sammy for what the work.
And all these other guys that are talented that are involved in this gauntlet match.
Bronson Reed.
What happened with them at WrestleMania? You know, it's like, what? You know, Bronson Reed just came back. You know, congratulations to him and his wife on their first child. You know, it's like, again, which is why he wasn't at Elimination Chamber in Australia. You know, it's like there's great talent involved in this gauntlet match, but it's like only one of them is going to win, which sucks.
Yeah.
Not thrilled about the gauntlet match idea, but it's like I'm just going to feel bad because there's only two people. It's down to Sammy or Chad.
Yeah.
Or who's going to win? Who's going to win that next week?
And to me,
I'm leaning toward Chad.
I'm leaning toward Chad just because the only reason is Sammy's had it multiple times.
Yeah, he's had the Intercontinental multiple times and done really well with it. He doesn't need the title.
No.
It means more for Chad because he's never had that. He hasn't had a really good singles title run.
It's just the fact that Sammy's gotten to a height that we thought he would get to.
It's like he deserves something.
He deserves something because he went from he could have beat Roman to being part of one of the greatest storylines we've seen in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
With him and
it's
Roman.
Obviously they're building something with Sammy. I just don't know where it's going to go now.
I don't know where it's going either. But all right, and that's
Anyway.
why we will segue to your boy, because it should have been Sammy and Seth. Well, it should have been CM Punk and Seth, but that's beside the point. He got hurt, right?
Yep.
So we thought with the promo that Sammy was cutting, it might have been, a triple threat or something like that. But no, it's just your boy and the work he's been putting in Seth. And to me, right now, your boy is doing everything he can to show that what Seth is doing is Seth looks him as a second.
Your focus is in the wrong place. You should be focusing on me challenging you for the title.
And I like
this bloodline shit with Cody.
And I like the way that your boy is feeding into that.
Yep.
Very much so. So discuss about what you thought.
No, you nailed it. It's like I really love what they're doing with Drew and what he's doing, what he's saying to Seth. It's like your focus is in the wrong place. You should be focused on me, not on this bloodline bullshit. Yeah. And he's like, because I'm going to take the title from you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he's like over them. Like he's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you being a dumbass? Like, you never heard a heel like
no.
Typically it'd be like, I'm glad you're doing this. No, he's different. He's like, I'm. Why are you doing this? Why are you stupid? Like, you should be focusing on me. Like when Seth ran past him, he was like
a hypocrite where he's complaining about the bloodline interference, but he doesn't give it two shits at the bloodline interference his match as long as he wins.
Right.
Because was he like all pissed off that Solo and Jimmy interfered with the match, try to screw Jay over? No. It's like it was all he cared about was winning.
But he doesn't want his win to be tarnished.
Speaking of that, Jay needs to do something. Needs to retaliate soon. I think I get maybe why, because it's his brother, but this is the second time he's fucked him over in a big time match. It's like Jay's got to snap.
Well, Jay was on the Bump or whatever those shows I don't watch anymore, but it was online. Said like, they asked him about that. He goes, "No, Cody, I got your back." On that, and we talked about it. That Jay's gonna be the one, and I think it's gonna be The Rock too, because I think it's like a weird. To me, it's some weird. I don't know why, but I have this weird inkling with when Seth did the whole bloodline bull thing that The Rock did with the thumb, that like Seth Rollins, The Rock, Jay are they gonna just do a whole flip? Am I overbooking my mind at this point?
Yeah, no, I think you're overthinking it.
But I think it's gonna happen at WrestleMania. It makes sense to where they do the tag match. The Rock and Roman win. So
they are going to win.
Rules.
There's no way that.
And then The Rock fucks over, and Cody wins. So it's still about The Rock, but Cody wins.
I don't know if Rock is going to turn on Roman, but maybe he does everything to try to prevent Cody from winning, but it backfires and Cody wins anyway. Mm-mm. So that you plant seeds of doubt, like, oh, did Rock do that on purpose or was it an accident? It's like,
no, I don't think that at all. I think The Rock is. They're trying to still get that Roman Rock
because
match.
the bloodline has to win the tag match, because they need to stack the deck against Cody as much as possible in this situation. Because that's going to provide the most drama. If it's Bloodline Rules, it's like, oh, how the hell is Cody going to win the match now?
No, they're going to win. The Rock and Roman's going to win, because if you pin The Rock or Roman, then what the fuck else is night 2?
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be a banger of a match. Like, I'm so excited for it. Like, as much as I went,
no, it's like, Rock and Roman are winning that match. It's 100% certainty.
That's actually the like we talked about before with the Sting situation. That is actually the best outcome for The Rock.
It's about stacking the deck against Cody as much as possible, to the point where the fans are going to be like, how is he going to win this fucking match now?
Yeah, and I think that's what's going to happen. I hope it's just Cody overcoming everything and just
Exactly.
Scorched earth.
Yeah, I think that's the point.
We've been talking scorched earth. Cody saying, "Fuck you guys. I am winning this thing."
Like they do everything, like almost like a Sting thing, where like they do everything they can to try to destroy Cody, and he just will not die.
Just don't do a Starcade.
And it's like, and the fans.
No, you brought up Sting, and I'm like, don't do a Starcade. Don't do a Starcade.
No.
that hurt. That hurts.
Yeah, no.
Okay. But that's why we love the build of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
For all these discussions of like, this way, I think it's that way. But I'm glad that Seth is at least a part of it, because after that press conference, I'm like, you got to build something to the title. Who do you think, before we move on to AEW and wrap it up with NXT, who do you think of this main event stuff between Seth, your boy, Cody, Rock, Roman, Jay, even Jay?
Mm-hmm.
I'll throw Jay out there. Who is taking the back burner in all this? And is it necessary?
Back burner? In what way? Like,
well, I'll throw Jay away, even though he's going to be a part of it, because it's going to be Jay and Jimmy, and no one's going to give a shit about that match because Jay's going to win, unless Solo comes out and does his thing. But I think what's going to happen is, in the Jay and Jimmy match, John Cena's going to come out, interrupt that because of the Solo thing, and then help Jay win.
Yeah,
because John has been alluding.
I mean, hell, you could even have, like, people are talking about maybe Cody has like an Avengers moment where like a bunch of people show up at the right time to help him, like Cena, and Jay, or even people are even wondering.
Dude, that would be so epic. I'm loving what you're booking right now. Like, overbook the fuck out of it, like Aaron Turner.
Right now,
overbook the fuck out of it. You had The Rock involved this much. You had him cut a 21 minute promo that us people, our marks ourselves, are like, dude, you didn't need to do that, and everything like that. And like Aaron Turner was saying, like, just put Stone Cold in it. Fuck it, do it.
Yeah, that's where I got the idea. I was like, when Aaron mentioned, I was like, well, why not? It's like, can you imagine the people lose their shit if Stone Cold came out to help Cody.
You know how epic we would still be talking about this 20 years from now?
They would lose their shit if they saw Rock and Stone Cold throw down one more time.
Right.
It's like, because their history is
and it would make the Bloodline faction arguably bigger than anything, because it took all these people.
And also, you would completely understand, because Stone Cold's final match was against The Rock, and what happened? The Rock beat him.
Yeah.
Rock retired him.
Yeah. I mean, we can fancy book this thing.
Yeah.
To all we need to know. The only thing, please, for the love of God, Cody needs to win.
Because that's the only mistake they can make, is Cody not winning this time. It's like, especially if you're stacking the deck against him with them losing the tag match, so it's bloodline rules, so that it's anything goes, and you're just like, oh geez, what the, like, Cody's fucked. It's like, how is he gonna win? Well, he'll find a way, because that's the only way that. If they had won, if Seth and Cody won the match, then I'd be like, no, he's not winning.
Yeah,
because they'd find some like loophole to abuse. But Roman and Rock winning stacks deck against Cody so much that it's like, no, it's like that point. You have to find a way to let him win.
Yeah, and that's a more entertaining way to do it anyway.
Yeah, because it's like, because like the closeout night one be like, oh my God, it's Bloodline rules tomorrow night. How is Cody Rhodes going to?
Yeah, and then you had the rematch, and then you had the rematch between him and Roman, because Roman's like, oh, well, it's because you had all, you can take the Bloodline rules, have a bunch of other people come in and do that shit.
Because Rock said it'll be like no DQ, it'll be basically like no holds barred, anything goes, which means no disqualification, no count out. So yeah, the Bloodline can interfere, but So can other people interfere to help Cody?
And then once Cody wins, then Roman's going to come out and be like, "Well, you need a bunch of other people to help you out," because that's what the Roman Reigns is going to do these days.
Yep.
That's just the mentality he's gonna say. And then Cody's gonna be like, "Well, every time I faced you, you had Solo and all this other stuff.
Yep.
So if you think you're better than me, because I had you done. So if you think you're better than me,
then you can probably
that's when they had that match.
A rematch where Roman's like, tells Rock and everybody that to stay out of it because he wants to prove that he can beat Cody one-on-one on his own without any help.
Right, and then that's when you do and then the Rock comes back and be like, "You couldn't handle your own business."
Yep.
And that's when you do the.
And then you start building then you can really start building the Rock and Roman turning on each other.
Yeah. We solved it, Justin. We solved the problem. Yep.
Yeah. Well, our fantasy booking is pretty cool.
we're like going on like 80% on our booking so far. All right. Let's move on to
AEW for the fallout from Revolution.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us. That's hanging on with us. We're probably going to go for about 2.5 hours tonight because
we're going a little over
the limit that we wanted to, but it's WrestleMania season and AEW is kicking ass right now. So typically we'd be like, yeah, AEW is cool, whatever. No, AEW is kicking ass right now. On top of what WrestleMania season is. So, like we said, like The Rock even said, wrestling is cool right now.
Yeah.
Okay, it is cool. And
wrestling is hotter than it's ever been. It's like it's like between WWE and AEW, or it's like we're in a new golden age, boys and girls.
Yeah,
it's like enjoy the ride.
And AEW is hopefully they're starting something that's really good because these past after Revolution, typically I was like, please don't be bad, and we got what we got. So here we go.
Yep. All right, here's a recap of what happened on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite, the fallout from the Revolution pay-per-view on Sunday. Show kicked off with a new logo, a new set, and a new opening theme music. As I said, this was the season premiere that kicked off a new era of AEW Dynamite. Tony Schiavone welcomed Swerve Strickland out to the ring. He cut a promo saying that he unfortunately didn't win the title like he had promised. Wasn't sure maybe that he was going to win the title. Maybe it was karma paying him back for the bad things he's done. But turning around saying that and basically making it clear that he's babyface right now. Making promise that eventually he's going to get another chance at the championship and next time he's going to win it. Samoa Joe came out to respond. And while they were going back and forth, Adam Cole and the Undisputed Kingdom came out to offer their rebuttal. Adam Cole making it clear to Samoa Joe that he's only champion because the Undisputed Kingdom helped him do that, taking out MJF, which is true. And Cole said Swerve will never win the AEW title, and that it's only a matter of time before Wardlow wins the title from Joe and returns the title to where it belongs, with Cole pointing at himself when he was saying that. Keep that in mind. He then said that Matt Taven and Mike Bennett would challenge the two of them to a tag match next week. But Tony Schiavone interrupted, saying Tony Khan decided that match was going to happen now. So that was the opening match. Despite not getting along very well, Swerve pinned Matt Taven pick up the victory. Wardlow was walking down the ring, which distracted Swerve for a moment, and that allowed Joe to attack him from behind, slap on the Coquina clutch, and choke Swerve out. And it was announced that Wardlow would face Samoa Joe for the championship on next week's episode of Dynamite, which is the big business show from Boston. Then we had FTW title match under FTW rules. Hook defending against Brian Cage. Hook picked up the victory, out Cage to Red Rum. the Gates of Agony and attacked him after the match, but Chris Jericho ran out for the save, which was set up earlier when they were chatting in the back. Tony Khan again reiterated that there's going to be a tournament coming up to crown new AEW Tag Team Champions and tease some of the teams that will probably be in the tournament. No official bracket yet, but it'll probably be coming soon. Speaking of that, the Best Friends, Chuck Taylor is not cleared to compete yet, so Trent and Orange Cassidy will represent the Best Friends in the Tag Team title tournament and plan on winning. Daddy Magic took on Killswitch in a one-on-one match for what happened at the pay-per-view when he was helping Danny Garcia. Pretty much a squash. Killswitch finished Daddy Magic in like 2 minutes. Garcia ran out to help him, but Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus beat him down. And then as Christian, who was on commentary, and then we're walking the back celebrating, Adam Copeland returned. No music to attack, took out Killswitch and Nick Wayne, and then went after Christian, chased him all the way to the outside of the arena where Christian got into a vehicle and escaped. Adam cut a promo saying that he's had enough of this and challenges Christian to a third and final rubber match between them, an I Quit match for the TNT Championship at the Dynamite in 2 weeks that's happening in Toronto. Colorado cut a babyface promo for Renee in the back, making clear he wants to strike out on his own and not be associated with the Undisputed Kingdom at this time, even though Cole and Roddy are his friends. They recapped Sting's retirement match. And then the Young Bucks came out to make a huge announcement. They were, of course, poking fun at Tony Khan and his penchant for making huge announcements. They chased Tony Schiavone out of the ring. Their two big announcements were first, they said that Hangman Adam Page was suspended from the Elite without pay indefinitely for beating up the referees in the title match, which they can't abide by. And then also kicked Kenny Omega out of the Elite as well because he has been no-showing at AEW for no good reason. With, of course, the Excalibur and them saying, Kenny's out sick with different diverticulitis. Well, Eddie Kingston had enough of this crap and came out to confront the Young Bucks, and they got into a fight with Eddie. They looked to go to give him the EVP trigger when all of a sudden Okada made his AEW debut. It looked like he was coming out to help Eddie Kingston against the Young Bucks, but he shocked everybody by attacking Eddie and assisting the Young Bucks in a beatdown of Eddie Kingston. And Matt Jackson on Mike saying that their final announcement they almost forgot about was that Okada was now a member of the Elite as well as being All Elite. So a new version of Elite has been formed with the Bucks and Okada. Very interesting. Chris Statlander took on Riho. The storyline with what's going on between her and Stokely continues. Stokely slipped her metal steel chain to use to try to cheat to win, but Statlander didn't want to do that. And as a result, Riho was able to roll her up for the pin for the victory, leaving Chris Statlander very upset afterwards as Stokely continues to try to lure Statlander over to the dark side. We'll reveal that she's challenging Riho next week on her way to try to getting a TBS title shot against Julia Hart. Tony Storm announced that next week will be the Tony Awards. So more shenanigans from Timeless Tony. Darby Allin came out to cut promo about what happened at the pay-per-view, saying that he's vacating the tag team titles because Sting's retired, and that he wishes the next tag team champions the best of luck. Jay White came out to confront him with the guns, setting up their match next week at Big Business Dynamite in Boston. They set up some matches for Rampage and Collision. Julia Hart should open challenge, and then House of Black challenging Mark Briscoe and anyone he can find as partners to a street fight. Jay Lethal came up to Mark Briscoe and offered that him and Jeff Jarrett would help him out. Mark was leery about trusting Jeff Jarrett, but Jay Lethal told him not to worry about that, but to trust him. And then we got to our main event. Will Ospreay taking on Kyle Fletcher, his friend and fellow stablemate currently in Don Callis family. Hell of a main event. Lots of great stuff, hard-hitting action. In the end, Fletcher fell to the Hidden Blade as Ospreay picked up another victory. He shook his friend's hand, congratulated him, make sure he was okay. But then all of a sudden, Bryan Daniels' music hit, and he came out to lots of yes chants. He got in the ring and had a stare down with Will Ospreay to close out the show, teasing a future dream match between the two of them. And I say, inject that into my veins, ladies and gentlemen. So that's all that happened this week on AEW Dynamite.
Can you remember when's the last time AEW was hitting this stride?
It's been a while. They got a lot of good momentum going here. I liked the new logo. I liked the set. New theme music, Otherwise, I like the upgrades to the show. They did a lot of different things, like the opening, kind of WWE-ish, but a nice change of pace. Set a lot of stuff up. Undisputed Kingdom, making it clear. I love what Cole said. Cole speaking truth. He's like, "Hey, Joe, remember, you're only champion because we allowed that to happen."
Right.
It's like reminding everyone that Joe made a deal with Cole and the Undisputed Kingdom to fuck MJ over so he could win the title. So it's like they helped him win the title. So it's like he wouldn't have the title without Cole and them's help. So I was like, and then saying Swerve's never going to be champion and that Wardlow's going to win the title, and then bring it home where it belongs while pointing at himself. It's like at some point Wardlow is not going to be part of the Undisputed Kingdom.
Yeah, but I will give the tip of the cap to Swerve in saying the Britt Baker line. That was really good.
Oh yeah, no, it's like Cole got really pissed off. That was great stuff.
Because like the Swerve and Joe promo was like, it's only a matter of time. And Joe's like, "You're not going to beat me," like your typical stuff. It's not. There was nothing bad.
He's got spicy when Cole came out because
But when Cole came out, and he gave the Inspector Gadget the claw line, and which I thought was kind of cheesy, but still. But the whole I knew it was going to happen with we make the rules around here, and then Tony Schiavone, but.
Actually, Tony Khan says otherwise.
Tony Khan, do you think Swerve basically just squashing the Kingdom was a bad thing or good?
No, because I already consider Taven and Bennett as just goof goons. It's like I don't consider they can take losses. It's like it's like Cole, Roddy, and Wardlow are the real the ass kickers in the group. Once Cole is finally out of the wheelchair, hopefully soon. We may get an idea since the Wardlow Smojo title match is happening in Boston next week for the Big Business Dynamite.
I don't like it that quick. It should
I don't
build.
like it either.
I want a bigger build.
Yeah, but it feels like it sucks for Wardlow because it's obvious that Swerve is so over that it's only a matter of time before he's going to get the title.
Yeah. Which we've talked about before,
but
Swerve should be the title. Samoa Joe is holding everyone who's holding the title is holding the title for Swerve to have it for a year.
Well, until Ospreay, because it's I feel like if Swerve wins the title anytime soon,
can you let me have Swerve? Let me have Swerve. I want to have Swerve.
I'm being realistic. It's like
I'm aware. That's why I'm saying it in that voice.
Because
I'm not saying you're wrong. It's the same thing with what I feel about.
Just picture it.
With my girl. I'm a big Swerve. Big Swerve fan right now.
At All In, Ospreay versus Swerve for the title in the main event. Guaranteed classic.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. I just think some shenanigans should happen, but Swerve is.
But I'm worried about Wardlow getting fucked over again.
That's what I'm saying. I don't like the fact that after that amazing promo, you don't follow it up. You followed it up with him winning at a clusterfuck of a match, and then you follow that up with him losing to Samoa Joe, and then
That's
where's
why I'm
Wardlow
hoping
again?
that there's shenanigans. That he doesn't like it. He doesn't win, but he doesn't lose. Like, you know, I'm hoping for shenanigans, and because we got to see what they're going to do for the title match at Dynasty in April. So, but no, there's a lot of great stuff on the show.
Yeah. Let me throw this one. What was the one that? I loved how in the Hook match, Brian Cage when he got German suplex on the thumbtacks, it all went in his ass.
Yeah.
Did you not notice that? Like, they're like, "Oh, it's in thumbtacks," and he gets up. I'm like, there was like 4 in his back.
Yeah. Like they're mostly in the behind, you know.
No, I thought that match was fine. I didn't. Why is Jericho involved?
Because Sammy's suspended and he needs to have a new buddy for the time being.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like the Swerve stuff. The again, I was with you. Why does Christian need the title, but yet that whole segment was awesome?
Oh yeah, no. When Adam Copeland came back and was like chased him literally out of the building,
I loved that he like tried to. I just like the dumb shit that happens. So when he's like driving away and then also like stops just in time just to hold the title out of the car.
Yeah, I know that was hilarious.
I popped. I was just like, that's hilarious.
And on Twitter,
that's so dumb. It's good.
On Twitter, Christian tweeted out, "I got myself a new car last night."
Yeah, I know Cornette would probably rip that to shreds, but just to me, I'm just like, that's hilarious. Like, that whole thing is hilarious. And the fact that we weren't done after like chased him out of the arena, no, we're gonna follow him through. He's gonna steal a car, and then Adam Copeland still can't catch up to enough for him to do all that shit.
Time is up though, because this is the rubber match. He's gotten
Toronto
over in the last 2 matches. It's I Quit rules. Christian's about to face some karma.
Yeah, but Nick Wayne and his mom are just terrible.
Nick Wayne is good in the ring. His mom, I don't think should be around.
They are terrible characters.
Yes, Nick Wayne's good in the ring, but his character needs work.
If there's 2 people that need NXT, it is those fuckers.
Yeah.
As far as like building a character. Which shout out to Lexus King. He got another haircut because people started giving him shit. If you didn't notice, you see that. He's like, yeah, just got done. I'm like, yeah, it still looks like shit, dude. But whatever.
I love it. I don't care.
I love him and
I love what he's doing some great character work as Lexus King now. I love it.
Yeah, we'll get to that the next segment.
Okay, so we got to get to the first big moment there. With like, I love everything that they do with the Buck. I loved where. It was very clear they were mocking Tony Khan with the
thank you. Yes, that was so good.
That was wonderful. It shows that they have a sense of humor.
Yeah, when our friend said "fuck the Young Bucks," I'm like, "Have you seen them recently?"
Yeah, it's like that was hilarious. And then it's like all right, we can't be biased. Hangman, you hurt not 1 but 2 referees. You put your hands on. We have to suspend you without pay, and you're out of the elite. Kenny, where have you been, man? I love the commentary. But he's out sick.
Yeah.
And they're acting like they don't know where
he is. Kenny on Twitter like literally like posted like him doing like the.
Yeah. And so they kick Kenny out of the elite. And then Eddie comes out to, like, all right, enough of this bullshit. And then Okada comes out and you were like, oh, I was like, oh, here. Oh, I guess they're not saving him for big business next week. And then when he turned on Eddie, I was like, I literally went, oh shit, he's heel. He's with the Bucks. And then it's like I'm like, this new version of the Elite. I like this.
I like it a lot. Because you need a mouthpiece for Okada, even though he can talk. Okada can talk English. We've known this. He's about as good as what EO.
this was executed wonderfully. It's brilliant. And Okada can be a great top heel because they got so many good baby faces right now. So it makes sense for him to be heel.
And they're already building to
because
like
Ospreay is really freaking over, even though he's aligned with Doc Hale's family. He's really over right now. So it's like
that's what people are saying. Like right now, AEW signed the right people, or they're building them. They're presenting them the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of it, Darby cut probably the best promo he ever did against Jay White with that bat. When he brought that bat, that gave me chills, dude.
Yeah, that was actually some good stuff from Darby.
Was that not to you the best promo Darby's cut?
I hope Darby puts Jay over because
he should
because this is the last match. He's gonna be taking time off because he's gonna be doing the Mount Everest climb at the end of the month. So
then hopefully he just doesn't die.
Yeah, hopefully he won't die. And he's gonna be taking some time off for that and some other stuff.
Yeah, no, and that way you can put Jay White in the main event scene too.
Yeah, he needs another boost.
Then plus you put Jay White against Okada because they had that history.
Oh my god!
And here's the fun part: we've talked about this before. Ospreay and Kenny Omega as a tag team.
Yep.
We talked about that before.
The irony, because you could totally see them joining forces against the Bucks and Okada.
Nope, and they wouldn't have brought up. You don't bring up a wrestler unless you know that they're going to be okay.
And also, face Kenny against heel Okada is money.
Yeah, I mean, like that is.
They perfectly set up what Kenny will do when he gets back because he's gonna want revenge against what the Bucks did, kicking replacing him with Okada and all the stuff they've been doing. He's gonna be like, all right, enough of this bullshit.
Such a good episode.
Yeah, and then the tease at the end of Danielson versus Ospreay. It's like I said, check that shit into my veins, baby. Give me that match.
The only thing that we didn't get was Shivani going, I'm sorry, we're cut for time. We can't hear their promos. That's the only thing I was like when I heard that, because I was like looking at something else when I replayed it on a YouTube TV. Shout out, could be a sponsor. But when I was rewatching it, I'm like, oh yeah, this. I didn't hear Shivani going, we're cut for time. Sorry, we can't hear anything. And then went to the next thing.
Out of time.
Yeah. I was hoping for that, but we didn't. But we got that stare down.
One last thing. I also like where the storyline with Sopley trying to get Chris Statlander to come over to the dark side. I like where it's going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's. I don't know if with the new production team and the new writers that Jennifer.
It feels like there's a change.
There's something that is working.
Things are becoming
that Tony is listening to.
Yes, I think Tony is finally letting other people help run the show, and it feels like it because things feel more focused and coherent.
Yeah, because we always say, like, other than World's End, that to me, which is the worst pay-per-view that AEW.
Yeah, easily the worst AEW pay-per-view so far.
But the rest we always talked about. AEW's pay-per-views have always been really good as far as their matches and stuff like that. Even if the builds were blah, the matches were still good. But then the Dynamite shows and stuff like that were just like all over the place.
Yep.
This was a good from Revolution to here.
Yep.
That they're progressing shit.
Yeah.
And then we know with Mercedes Moné, it's going to progress more shit.
It's like next week's show is loaded. It's like Mercedes gonna show up at some point. We don't know what. My guess, I will not be surprised if she interrupts the Tony Awards. She's got it. They have to have her face off against Tony.
The only thing that sucks. Oh, speaking about Tony, the Tony Awards. You forgot to mention this fact in your breakdown. She said Tony with an I, that way we don't get sued. That was a great
line. I forgot about that. Thank you. I forgot about that. That was a great line. So it's spelled with an I, so we don't get sued.
We don't get sued. And like I went back and watched her post game. Dude, Tony is just so. And I know she's your girl, and I'll let you, because I have my girl. But Tony is she is at her element at these days.
Yeah.
She is so good. She's
reaching the potential I always knew she could with this character.
Mhm.
It's like,
Yeah.
It's like, that's why I've been a fan of her for a couple years. Hey, I also love Roxanne. I'm only, it's like year
You
one. I think it's 1A or 1B.
We'll get to that. But yeah, we got our. It's not our two favorite. Like, I honestly, like, it's not even like nothing. No slight against Becky and all them what they're doing in Rhea, but I like what Roxanne and Tony are doing better than those two. Maybe Rhea. I'll put Rhea there, but
Rhea's character work is still top notch.
Rhea's tough.
Yep.
What she's doing, but anyway.
Great. This is a really damn good episode.
Damn good Dynamite. Forgot to bring this up. It was announced.
The tag team title tournament.
No.
Well, what?
About an hour ago, on the Ring of Honor tapings, Athena versus Hikaru Shida for the ROH Women's title.
Ooh, that's good shit.
Yeah. It's about time Athena got back to AEW, right?
Really, it's like hardly anybody is seeing the awesome work she's doing.
She's doing.
I've watched clips. It's great stuff. It's like, but I don't give a crap about RH, and I'm not going to pay for it.
No, I'm not either. I just want Athena back.
They need to bring her over with once Mercedes shows up, because like that's another big boost to the women's division.
And she's not ready yet, but Billy Starks.
She's got a lot of potential, man.
She's got a lot of potential. She's a girl from my hometown of Louisville, born and raised. I like she's got a lot of potential. So I'm totally gonna back Billy Starks. What she does. But other than that, no, dude, Tony. Whoever you're listening to that is booking these things, keep doing that. Because I even like the way you booked the first match, which is something we haven't seen before. For a while of Swerve and you think about this booking, right? Before we move on to NXT and close the show, when's the last time you saw this booking where Swerve came out, right? Your top babyface at this point. Which he organically became that. It's like a Stone Cold type thing. He talks shit about your champion. The champion comes out. They talk shit to each other. The heel faction comes out, and then they
talk shit to both of them.
What?
Talk shit to both of them.
Right. Talk shit to both of them, and then they do a tag match. That's something that's done before, but I haven't seen that in quite some time, much less in AEW. So that type of like, well, let's do this, and then the faction's like, no, we're not going to do this, and then they go, oh no, we're going to do it right now. And that slow, that type of build segment to a match that actually worked. You haven't seen it in a while, so just hats off to AEW, dude. They put on a top 5 show that they've done. All right, let's move on to our last one here.
So the best for last.
Well, she is.
Hello, here's a recap of what happened on this week's episode of NXT, which was the Roadblock edition, as the build to NXT Stand and Deliver began. So we opened with the Asylum match. Dijak versus Joe Gacy. Dijak picking up the victory. One of the highlights being moonsault off the top of the cage by Dijak onto Gacy, and later hit Feast Your Eyes for the victory. Tony and the rest of the D'Angelo family met in the back, talking about his number 1 contender match against Mello tonight. And Luke Crucifina came in, and D'Angelo wanted him to join the family as his consigliere, and Crucifino accepted. So he's now part of the D'Angelo faction. We had a tag team title match, Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin defending the NXT tag team titles against Chase U. Chase U put up a fight, but in the end, Braun Breaker speared Andre Chase to pick up the victory and keep the tag team titles on the Wolf Dogs. Shawn Spears had his return match to WWE on NXT against Uriah Connors. Pretty much a squash. He finished him off with C4 to pick up the victory. They cut a promo afterwards talking about Ridge Holland's hypocrisy. He was lying when he says he fights for his family. But Holland came out to respond to him. Spears gave him the chair, but referees interfered, wouldn't let him hit it, and got into a fight and setting up a match between the two of them apparently next week. Josh Briggs met up with Brooke Jakes in the back, found out that he had challenged Obafemi to an NXT North American title match next week. Said he needed to do this because he woke something up with him in their match that they had recently. But later, Dijak came up and told Briggs that he knows Jensen is just a dead man walking against Obafemi. Then we had a WWE Women's Tag Team title match as Kabuki Warriors of Damage Control, Asuka and Kairi Sane, returned to NXT to defend titles against Lyra Valkyria and Tatum Paxley. They put up a good fight, but in the end, they took Valkyria out and then isolated Paxley and hit their combo moves, and including the insane elbow, to finish off Paxley and retain the titles. After the match, Roxanne Perez appeared out of nowhere and attacked Lyra, beat her down, including trying to break her arm over the turnbuckle. Valkyria sold it like she was seriously hurt, and she was carted into an ambulance with Shawn Michaels and Ava looking unconcerned. So the Roxanne heel turn is complete. Then we had Fallon Henley taking on Blair Davenport, which was set up earlier in the show. Not a long match because Sol Roca finally returned to NXT from her ACL injury, which was played out storyline-wise as being one of Blair Davenport's victims when she was the parking lot attacker. She attacked Davenport on the outside, threw her back to Henley, who finished her off to pick up the victory, leaving Davenport none too happy. There was a little segment where a match between Ariel Grace and Gigi Dolan was set up next week. Shawn Spears cut a quick interview saying that he's counting on facing Ridge Holland next week, and he's going to teach Ridge to embrace his rage. The No Quarter Catch crew came out to cut a promo, bragging about Charlie Dempsey winning the NXT Heritage Cup last week. And that under the catch clause, any one of them can defend the cup at any time. They're also going to enter themselves into the tag team tournament that's apparently coming up, probably to determine challengers. But then William Regal, of all people, came back out. Fans were happy to see him, chanting, "That's your father" at Charlie Dempsey, because if you didn't know, Charlie Dempsey is William Regal's son. Said he's been keeping an eye on him, and that he hopes that he will represent British and European wrestling heritage well as a Heritage Cup champion. Charlie responded to Dad saying, "I'll defend this cup better than you ever could." Regal smiled and said that he's going to be watching. Mr. Stone told Von Wagner that he wants to take on Lex King himself ahead of Von Wagner next week after what he said about his kids. And then finally we came to the main event. Number one contender match. Winner will face Ilya Dragunov at Stand and Deliver. Tony D'Angelo versus Carmelo Hayes. Good main event. Just want to look like Melo was looking to pick up the victory. All of a sudden, Trick Williams' music hit. Hayes freaked out, all distracted, and that allowed Tony D'Angelo to capitalize. And then with his finisher, forget about it, to pick up the victory. And surprisingly, Tony D'Angelo is the number one contender. So he will be facing Ilya Dragunov for the NXT title at Stand and Deliver. D'Angelo got on the mic and said that apologize for Melo for the fake out, but he said that since he's a nice guy, he's going to give Melo and everyone a nice little surprise. And that surprise was that Trick Williams was actually there. His music hit this again, and this time he appeared in the ring attacking Carmelo. Carmelo's security tried to take him out, and he just fought them all off. Crowd went nuts for Trick's return as they set up Trick versus Melo at Stand and Deliver, with him helping cost Carmelo his title shot against Ilya. So that's all that happened this week on this week's episode at NXT.
Dude, what a week of solid booking of two different companies.
Dude, this episode of NXT was like a home run. I thought it's like there's just so much good stuff that happened on the show. Oh my god.
Yeah, but like just like a solid week of just like solid booking.
Yeah.
From 4 different shows. Or 5 at this point with the pay-per-views. So yeah, pay-per-view, SmackDown, Raw, AEW, and NXT. Like Dynamite wise, dude, we are spoiled. Like just solid. They know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah. No.
Booking. We're not going to start with my girl, obviously. Like we do with every show. With every show, we're going to do a thing. We're going to end with McIntyre on Raw. Or we're going to end with Roxanne on NXT. Yeah. All right. So where do you want to start?
Okay. I want to start with the opening match, the silent match between Dijak and Joe Gacy. That was some good stuff. Like I said, crazy spot with the moonsault the cage. Some people were bitching about it on Twitter, and Dijak put out a great fucking tweet.
Dude, that tweet is... I saw that tweet. Dude,
I'll
hats off to Dijak.
Yeah. People who tell me I shouldn't do a moonsault off the top of a cage have never been T-bar, barely treading water in main event, and tearfully staring at my phone, waiting to be fired. I don't take a second of this for granted, and eternally grateful to Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Yeah. So, all you like stupid internet trolls out there, go fuck yourselves.
Yeah. He's putting his life on the line for your enjoyment, because he knows it's a paycheck.
Yeah.
That he wasn't awarded. He knows he's not awarded the next day, because he knows
that says it all right there. It's like him being honest about, because the retribution stuff was death, man, for everyone involved.
He got lucky in the fact that he got retained when all that shit was going on.
Yeah, and the fact that they brought him back, put him back in NXT.
No, Triple H. No. I'll take another further. Not to interrupt you, but I'll take another further. Triple H and HBK protected him like HBK protected LA Knight a long ass time ago.
Yeah,
it's because they wanted to cut him, and they were like, no. They did the click influence and got him saved.
Yeah,
and that's why that's why I said thank you, Triple H and HBK.
Yeah, because it's like, I loved him as Dominik Dijakovic back during the Black and Gold era. It's like his matches against Keith Lee, fucking insane.
Dude, I love those matches with him and Keith Lee.
It's like they're awesome. And what he's done with this new the Dijak persona, he's killed it. And he's had some really high quality matches lately.
Solid
like both his matches against Joe Gacy, everyone knows that I am not a fan of Joe Gacy, the character, not the person, the character. This version of Joe Gacy is winning me over because he's willing to take an ass kicking. He's putting Dijak over, but he's also getting over because it's like with the crazy, like good crazy.
He's like a Mick Foley, like Mankind type of.
Yeah. Very face Mankind kind of level crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, no, I thought it was awesome that awesome spot with the moonsault and Dijak picking up the win. I love it. Then we had nice tag match between the Wolf Dogs and Chase U. Shawn Spears looking good in his debut. I actually like where this Ridge Holland angle is going, where he's goading him. He's trying to like Like, no, just embrace the rage, man. This is who you are. It's like it's I like it. It's like he's trying to bring out the darkness.
Nothing against with that, but is it weird that Cody Rhodes, Jay Cargill, and Sean Spears are using the same presentation that AEW made for them?
Yeah.
Or they came up with?
You don't break what
It worked. That's what I'm saying. Like
broken.
AEW, when people are like, "Oh, AEW's trash," I'm like, these three wrestlers.
No.
Not granted. I'll take maybe Cody Rhodes an outlier, but these other two wrestlers, we didn't know who Jay Cargill was. She established herself, and then like, oh, you could package her as whatever you want in WWE. Guess what they did? The exact same shit she was packaged at in AEW. So it makes it seem like AEW is onto something. But Sean Spears packaged as the chairman, walking like dragging the chair like he did with the silhouette, all that shit. And as Sean Spears, not the perfect 10 Tao Dillinger. So it makes you realize, oh, maybe AEW knew how to package certain people.
Yep.
Or that was their creative that WWE was like, yes, that worked. Let's do that.
No, I can totally see it, but Sean, like, you know what? That works. We'll run with it.
No. The chairman, Sean Spears, is way better than Tao Dillinger. The
Oh, absolutely, light years.
Light years.
Women's tag team match, fun, served its purpose. We'll get into more of that. We talk about what happened with Roxanne and Lyra, because it's like I told you. It's like the rematch. The rematch is pretty much
excited, but we're gonna get to that later.
Yeah. I love that Soul Ruckus came back. She's awesome. Glad that she's back from injury. Looking.
That's the one that does the crazy like. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is Fallon Henley the one that I was talking about a couple weeks ago? Who's the one that I was talking about a couple weeks ago that they booked her really well? The African American.
No, that was Lash Legend. Oh no, she's with Out the Mud. Something Jackson. We didn't see much of her this week, but she's
that one that she went viral like a few weeks ago, and I'm like, who the hell is this? She was really good in that match. Okay.
William Regal appearance was a nice surprise. I love that the fans immediately were like, "That's your daddy," because they know
right.
that Charlie Dempsey is his son, even though they haven't acknowledged that on by the announcers at all. That was great. I like Regal must be so happy to being able to, do this with his son.
I'm so happy for Regal these days, because from him and like literally kissing Vince McMahon's ass, and people just thinking like, just me as a fan being like, who's William Regal, and then just to see the respect that he has gained.
Yeah.
After his career is kind of over, but. When we look back at it, we're like, no, William Regal was that dude.
Yeah,
and he makes the wrestlers that we love today.
Yep.
If one like he's almost at that Dusty level of just he's got that respect. Like it's hard to get that respect, and it's just so cool of like me just being like, dude, I was totally wrong.
I can't wait to see where this is gonna go with what they set up between them. So that's good. And then, of course, the main event, I knew it played out exactly how I thought it would. I knew Trick was going to come back and fuck Mello over. It was well done.
This should honestly, this feud, it's not going to be. But this feud is main event. This feud is not main event. This feud is WrestleMania worthy.
Yeah,
it really
it's like it. It's like, man, it's like Trick is so over, man. Like the fans like went nuts when he came out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it's like
it's so good to know that the booking, the way it works now, is with Trick and Mello go to the main roster, they're not gonna be fucked.
Yeah, no. And I like what they're doing with the Angelo family. They're they added new.
That was the only
members.
question I have for you. Is
Yeah.
like, what do the D'Angelo family have with Trick? They're probably gonna. They should at least say something about it next week, right?
I'm sure that they is some kind of deal was made because like Tony doesn't help people for free, you know.
No.
He's a mafia don,
Right.
But you know, there's so. Well, I'm sure we'll find out.
As a booker mind, and as we know, like I don't like when just some random person just says like, "Oh, I got another guy," and then they just arrive. Like I want a reason why that happened.
So yeah, I know some people like Tony versus Ilya for the time. I don't mind it because it works. I mean, Tony's over, man. It's like, and I like his character work. Give him a shot. It's like he and Ilya could have a pretty good match. It's like this card is already shaping up stacked because we got Ilya versus Tony for NXT title, Trick versus Mello, Roxanne Lyra 2. So Stand Deliver is already looking really fucking solid, and we haven't even gotten to the other titles yet.
Who do you think is going to dethrone Ilya at this point?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think Tony's winning the title. I don't think Ilya's losing the title just yet. Maybe eventually. I could see this being more than a one-match feud between.
So you think Tony is at that level now?
I think he's gotten good enough where I could see Sean giving him the title for a little bit.
Do you think Dijak winning it would be?
I would love to see Dijak win it.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm looking at Dijak, but do you think that is?
I think
not as
think
much because he was already on the main roster and then he had to come back. It's like Baron Corbin winning it, but even though Dijak is not the Baron Corbin level.
I would like to see it just because it would be an awesome moment. I think
Dijak's never had a title, so
no, he hasn't. So because they're definitely building him up because like it's like he's clearly won this feud with Joe Gacy. Even though he won the feud, like Gacy still helped get Gacy over, even though he's lost.
That it did remind me of when I watched that when I was like looking the replay. I'm like, this is an Undertaker Mankind.
Oh, absolutely.
Whereas like whoever wins, no one loses.
Yeah, no, it worked. It helped elevate both guys, so it's like it's a win-win. And also very interesting that before we get to Roxanne, the stuff with Briggs and Jensen where Corbin Dijak goes up to he's like, "You're lying to your friend, dude." It's like AKA he's Oba Femi's gonna kill him like Gunther killed Dominic.
Yeah. How long do you think the War Dogs are going to hold on the titles? And do you think they're going to lose it at like a main show, not NXT? Because they're bringing Braun on so hard.
It depends on who
they're double booking Braun in a different way right now.
Yeah. I know some people thought it was weird that he didn't have the NXT tag title with him. I thought it was strange of it, but anyway, I think it depends on who. It depends on who. Braun and Corbin are going to defend the tag titles against at Stand and Deliver. If it's against the Good Brothers, I think it's over.
Tama Tonga.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when you bring in Tama.
You don't bring the Good Brothers in NXT and not have them have the tag titles for at least a little bit. No. It's like they're the big team that are going to dethrone Corbin.
And that's when you bring in Tama Tonga.
And then you have Good Brothers have the tag titles, and then they can help elevate the division.
Elevate the division. Perfect booking, as we've done like 95% of this year.
Now let's get to Roxanne, your girl.
Oh my God, I loved every part of this.
Yeah.
I loved her just going full scorched earth. This is what I've been wanting. I wanted her to say, "F everyone, I am the best at this position," and I hope they give her the title. Honestly,
I think it's highly likely she's going to be winning the title back.
She better, because Sean, look at me. I don't want to boycott it for the 7th time or whatever it is. But I loved this segment with her. She fully embraced the heel side, and she can do both.
Yeah,
And
well, yeah, no, it was vicious. It was out of nowhere. Like the fans love Roxanne, but like the more that she hurt Lyra, the more they booed. So it worked.
oh, the more I cheered, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, of course, I know that. But yeah, no, this sets up the rematch between them great. Where now she's clearly she's just snapped. She's had enough of this shit. And it's like, but it makes sense with everything that's happened. It's like she can't stands no more.
No,
Yeah, it's like
she
wants the title back, and she doesn't care what she's got to do. At this point, now it's I don't care what I got to do to get the title. That I need the title back. I'm going to win the title.
I need her to have one more run with I need the Golden
I
Goose
think
to have
so. I think it's
one more run with the belt because
I like Lyra. It's obvious that they think highly of Lyra, and they've done some good things. They've done a really good job of giving her some more character, which she needed, especially the stuff.
She's getting better.
Yeah, she's getting better. It's like it's giving her more character work and building up her personality. All the stuff that all her interactions.
She's
with
not
Maxine.
Roxanne though, and that's no bias aside. She's not Roxanne. In ring work, character work.
Yeah, it's like I think. And plus, with so many other talent, heel Roxanne against some of the babyface talent that they've been building up in NXT lately, like Sol Rucka, Fallon Henley. You can have some really good feuds.
Fallon was the one I was thinking of, but Sol Rucka just came back. But Fallon was the one I was thinking. I was like, you can make some banger matches, but honestly, a lot of times the best time to put a strap on someone is when they're heel. Is because as they keep winning, the crowd wants them to lose that much more, which makes them intrigued to tune in to see them lose. It just, unfortunately, that's the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
But fortunately for me, as a Roxanne fan, she should retire with the title.
Yeah, of course. But no, I can't wait for this rematch. They did a good job of building this up, and I have no doubt Lyra and Roxanne are going to go kill it and stay to deliver.
I think, I hope you're right that Roxanne wins. If she doesn't, I don't know what they do with Roxanne here other than make her a main roster person. Because what else are you going to do with her?
No, if she doesn't win the title, she's going to the main roster.
Right.
It's that simple.
And then once she gets to the main roster, she don't have that much momentum.
No, it's like, and she's still very young too, man. It's like, so they can afford to keep her in NXT a little bit longer.
Yeah. And she's not nothing against her, but she's not the biggest. But Alexa Bliss was dominant, and she's bigger than Alexa Bliss.
Also, I think they probably want to keep her in there long enough until Cora Jade comes back.
That's what I'm saying. Like if Cora Jade didn't get hurt, we would have a different conversation now.
No, Cora would be in this spot right now if she wasn't injured because
I think Roxanne would be on the main roster if Cora.
No. Roxanne would have been called up along with Tiffany, and Cora would be doing this to Lyra right now, and not Roxanne.
Yep.
But it's like since she went down, they made the right pivot. Okay, all right. Who's the next best person we can fit into Roxanne?
The best part of this, WWE, give me a shirt I can buy.
Right.
For the love of God.
So like, yeah, because Roxanne and Cora's history, because Cora came in as a big baby face to start. Her and Roxanne were friends, and then she got jealous of Roxanne, turned on her when they were tag team champions.
Right.
It's like it turned on her. So they lost the tag team titles, and then she messed with her, and then not long after that she lost the women's title. It's like so her and Cora have some serious history, and when Cora comes back, they could have her come back babyface, easy.
Yeah.
If she wanted to do that, so like it'd be quite the flip. Heel Roxanne versus babyface Cora Jade over the NXT Women's title. It's like I'm like, hell yeah. So I think that's probably what they're doing. Because that way they can blow off that storyline between the two of them, their history, and then they can move Roxanne up and let Cora rule the roost on NXT for a while before.
Yeah, but Roxanne should win the title.
Yeah, give her one more run.
More. That's all I ask. And just name it the Roxanne. You're not as good as Roxanne title. That's all I ask. It's not too much. But no, yeah, I just as much as he likes McIntyre, I think Roxanne Perez is just that wrestler that has a character work to in-ring work that you just can't buy. So
yeah.
But anything. Thank you all so much. It's the end of the show. Subscribe.
We went a little bit over our usual.
We almost 3 hours, but here's the thing: it's WrestleMania season, and AEW is putting out bangers. So
just a lot to talk about this week.
Yeah, just a lot to talk about. So thank you all for hanging with us. Put down below, tell us that this is like the greatest show you ever seen. Number 1. Number 2, like, subscribe, join the Ruckus, patreon.com/RuckusTV, all that fun stuff. And we will be back here on the same Bat channel next time.
Yep.
Where we will be discussing the next road to WrestleMania. So but thank you all. Justin, thank you so much all the time for all the work you put into this show. And it's always a pleasure that I could talk wrestling because I don't get to do it a lot. So every time it's always a pleasure.
Yep.
So we will see you all next time.